Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, Criana, too. I know you're not a big fan of like shopping for shit or anything like that,
Yeah.
but I can the list of stuff that you can new things that you can buy isn't just armor and weapons. Some of their like are tools like a spy watch and like I said like this pen and shit that can go into tear gas. So if you want to, I can give you a link
Yeah.
to it, and if you want to get something, just let me know, and
I want the
you would
spy
have been
watch.
cool. Yeah, there's
I
definitely
already
spy watch.
used it. It's really useful.
I don't know what it is.
All
But
your
it
money
sounds
to Zoe.
badass.
It's a
Okay, give me a
watch.
moment.
It's a watch that can double as a flashlight. Also has a lock pit. Also has a radio built in. Also has a garrote
garrote
wire.
cord.
It's really cool.
All right, Criana, and I'm going to. Oh yeah, and there's special paints too.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Criana, I liked your drawing of Al so much that he now literally looks like that. His outfit matches and everything.
Oh.
Yeah. So, pin a
canon.
rose on your nose.
Well, I'm trying
Gross.
to draw Lavin, but it's hard.
It's the strong jaw, isn't it?
It's I don't know if he has. It's too strong of a jaw. Hang on, I got a description from.
My jaw is too strong.
No,
It
I
will
got a
bend
description.
rebar.
I got. Yeah.
Groovy. Anywho, yeah, let's. Are we streaming? Oh, we are streaming. Let me just
Hi,
tweet,
everyone.
and then we'll be good.
Hi everybody.
My literally my tweet is gonna just be saying riffs over and over again. So hopefully people know what's going on.
I can't parse what you're trying to get across here.
I know, yeah. Well, it's a code. Smart people will figure it out.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
Maybe, just maybe.
Oh,
All
no!
Let me just pop out the chat. What? What are you knowing about?
There is fan art. I didn't.
Oh
even
yes,
notice
yes.
until
Just
now.
show off the fan art.
Yeah. Okay. So first off, we have. If only they knew.
If only.
Yeah, they tried to flush the bits and pieces from last session. The others got an easy job. We have to deal with the dead body while they get to look at graffiti.
yeah.
And we're just in this battle.
I was making dumb jokes. I was like, God, they got the easy job. We're dealing with burnt bodies while people are getting shot.
Oh,
Yeah. It's great. And a bonus of Ellie and Bear hanging out while the fighting and chaos is happening.
yeah. Go
fish.
fish.
Yes.
Fish. Okie dokie, artichokes. Let me go over to the whiteboard here. And I don't think there's any real need for... we'll hang out at the whiteboard here for a bit while we set things up. Okay, so there are two things from last session that we that puts an end cap to both kind of missions. The first, of course, is the... Oh, excuse me. Pro tip, don't drink Pepsi before you... Or just don't drink Pepsi. Brought to you by Coke.
I was about to say
Not our sponsor,
sponsorship.
but totally our sponsor.
No, Lavin and Al were given 3 vid caps that Zenta had. The fellow that was across the street that she was concerned about, whose name is Damari Erickson, the ex-police officer and representative for the neighborhood, did record a variety of vid caps and release them to the neighborhood to kind of sway people to his line of thinking. So I'm not too sure, Al or Lavin, if you'd be listening to them right away, or do you wait before you reconvened with your... actually, I guess you don't have... Well, I don't know if it's in your inventory, if you have any sort of audio-video player with you. If not, you can wait till you reconvene with the group at your hotel room to listen to them. So,
I would assume reconvene is to present all the evidence.
Yeah,
together?
I agree.
Okay.
I have my personal computer, but yeah, I'm in Lavin. Best get together. Besides, we don't want to listen to that kind of stuff like on public transport. That's just weird.
that'd be weird.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So then what we will do is we will wrap up the 4 captives that Tom and Patrick managed to ensnare. You can, while you're waiting for the Ishpeming Police Department to arrive at this scene of this fight, Tom, is it fair to assume? Oh wait, no, you did mentally snuff out that fire that you started, correct?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, and that was in the street, so it didn't spread to any buildings or anything like that. There's just a scorch mark on the pavement nearby. You have one individual who's been cracked in the back of the head, so he's unconscious over the horn. Although I think maybe it's fair to say he's been pushed aside, so the horn isn't honking, blaring the entire time.
Yeah.
There is one that's tied up by rope, one that is tied up by a magic net, and one who is lying prone on the van floor, extremely injured, although his bleeding is being staunched a little bit by Patrick's first aid skills. Oh, give me a moment. Just got to mute myself real quick and clear my throat.
He's got some boogers in his throat.
No
Happens to
problem.
me all the time.
And I do believe that Blink had an extra pair of handcuffs, and he was tied up by handcuffs.
That's right. Blake did have handcuffs, so my bad. And speaking of the gentleman who has handcuffs, he is going to speak. And he's going to say, listen, it might seem like you got the upper hand now, but before we're interrupted, it's only fair that we give you the same offering that we've been instructed to give all black market members. If you join with the Hell Riders, you'll be safe. We'll pay you a large amount of credits. And more importantly, you're going to be on the winning side.
Let's join them. Totally.
You're not there. Go away, ethereal voice of Lavin.
I'll let Patrick answer that, because I think that Tom would be too preoccupied making sure that Blink is okay, because he saw her get shot, and helping Alicia staunch her bleeding on her neck.
Gotcha. All right.
Patrick looks like he is, before the man spoke up, he's been in this sort of hunched over, fingers crossed with each other, and both of his hands brought up to his mouth, leaning against his, he's leaning his head against his hands. And throughout the entire conversation, he has not really moved much. And even after the statement, there's a long lingering silence that Patrick will not answer.
As you stay there in silence, the man who is handcuffed kind of glares at you a little bit, and then the sirens can be heard, and he says, well, big mistake. Hell Riders, what's our prime directive? And all of them, with the exception of the one who is unconscious, but even the one who is bleeding considerably that you're treating, manages to murmur out, while the one ensnared in the magic net says much more boldly, justice through force, peace through ferocity, strength in silence. And the handcuffed man will give a bit of a smirk, and he says, you picked the wrong side. Next time the Hell Riders come for you, it won't end this way. You'll be dead. And unless you want to retort to that.
Oh, he will do that.
Okay.
Patrick's eyes will then swivel over to him at that and say, looks like you're fighting the wrong people.
No, he says, the black market is the right people. Criminals, every single one of them, and aids to criminals. We're going to cut them out like a tick.
Then maybe you should stop attacking civilians.
Civilians? You're no civilians.
Then what am I?
Affiliates of the black market. You work for them. You work in their brothel. Defense. You've been identified. Marked. Do you deny it?
Patrick goes back into silence, only briefly, and then says, all I'm saying to you right now is you're attacking the wrong people.
As the sirens get very, very loud and close by, he'll take a look out the window and he says, my orders are clear. And if I follow them, then nothing is wrong. Last chance to join us. You guys see the IPD officers kind of getting out of the vehicle and maintaining a perimeter and getting control of the situation.
Patrick will then stay quiet for the rest of this.
Okay. I'm going to switch out to a narrative stance here. For them direct conversation. Just kind of speed up the scene pretty clearly. The police come, take questions, but a few minutes after the routine questions of, sussing out what happened and calling for a medical unit for the individual who's kind of bleeding in the van and escorting these masked attackers, finding witnesses, etc., etc. Your party is approached by a woman of average height, dressed similarly as when you first met Veronica Sandler. She is in armor, jet black with kind of blue down the center, which signifies the office of... yeah. Anyway. Okay. Sorry, that threw me off. The Office of Loss Prevention. She has red hair. She has very, very pale skin when she takes her helmet off. She has a little freckles on her cheek as well. And she introduces herself as codename Blanco, and she works with the Office of Loss Prevention. She takes control of the situation when it comes to questioning Tom, Al, Blink, and Tom, Alicia, Patrick, and Blink, and she pulls you aside, and she lets you know that the Office of Loss Prevention did suspect that the Hell Riders not only maintained these areas of graffiti, but they actually protected them as well. And she would like to know who the party interacted with, for these individuals might have been willing or unwilling Hell Rider informants, or at the very least tipped you off as to what you were doing.
Cool.
So, what do you tell her?
Yeah.
you can choose not to tell her, or what do you tell her?
No, I tell her.
But what do you tell her?
What went down? What we found? What happened at each of the sites?
Okay. I was gonna say, not gonna leave out any detail. Gonna give her a full, thorough
No.
debriefing as you remember it.
Yeah, thorough debriefing as I remember it, along with the video.
Okie dokie. All right. Patrick?
Oh boy. Remind me again, did we actually explain that we were at the brothel, or is that like
We
is
did
that a thing
explain.
that they don't know?
We did explain that we went to the brothel.
You
if I
you
recall
said
correctly.
you were there to look for Jalea, and you briefly interacted with this guy named Basilisk before all hell broke loose and you got out of Dodge.
Yeah.
You did not elaborate on your involvement, your knowledge of who Basilisk is, or anything like that. You have not given the IPD any sort of details in regards to that. You were pretty general with that.
Well, if Patrick would definitely know that that was at least said, and that he would give the general information that when things went down, apparently they considered us part and affiliated with the black market, and now we as people are branded as targets.
All right. She, and then her final question it would be, is there any truth to their accusations?
No.
So why would they assume you were working with the black market just for being in the wrong place at the wrong time?
Seems like it. I even tried to convince them. They seem to be very cemented in their ideas.
She
And
takes note of this.
It also seems that they are taking orders from a higher up as well, not any sort of flaky gang. It seems like it's run by a small group or person.
I see, she says.
Possibly this guy with robotic arms that we keep hearing about. Because he investigated at least a couple of the murals after they were done.
I see, she says. Well, thank you very much. We'll stay in contact if we require anything else. I'm glad you made it out on the safe side. She kind of looks over to, the van with bullet holes in it, like blood, like smeared on the inside of it. And she says, we'll take care of these Hell Riders and interrogate them thoroughly.
Okay.
Good job. I'm assuming you have a contact at the LPO?
Yeah, we...
Oh, sorry, OPL?
Yeah,
Wait,
we have...
OLP! Offensive Loss Prevention Inferno.
Got it.
We have a radio channel that we can contact them on. Yes.
All right. Well, I will hand off my briefing to my superiors, and I'll let you continue on with your investigation.
No problem.
Good day.
We will let you know once we decrypt these messages.
Good. Best of luck. All right. And with that, where do you guys head?
Well, as long as the paramedics are okay with us leaving and Alicia's neck and all of that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they stitch up Alicia's neck. They encourage her to head off to the nearest hospital for a follow-up, but she shrugs it off and she says that she'll be fine and she'll stick with her friends for now. But she does thank them for closing up the wound in her neck.
Well, I do believe the next step should be to get our asses over to August. Get him started working on these.
Gotcha. Okay. So is that where we want to kind of set up the next scene? Everyone kind of reconvening, both from, you'd probably send off a message to Mila and Bear and have everyone meet together over at August's hotel room.
Yeah.
Sure. I do have one question that is kind of, as a player, I'm curious. What are Al and Lavin, these new people, talking about during transportation? Lavin, I don't know, I can imagine them maybe just doing a either talking about each other, or I can almost see them doing a word game, name a city that starts with this letter.
Like a road game?
Something like that, because Al would still be a little unsure how to act around him.
I don't know.
Okay, so it would either be okay. I'll say this: as far as Al's concerned, either be awkward silence or like a road game. Like,
I go for awkward silence.
okay, then we ride back in awkward silence.
Excellent. Awkward silence. Perfect. So well, yeah, we'll make a note of that. But would we like to set? Are you guys cool with us setting the next scene in August's hotel room? Okay, with you guys. So you all arrive within, we'll say, about 5 to 10 minutes of each other. All right. And without the NPCs taking control of the situation, I'll kind of throw the scene into your hands. And if you need a hand, actually, wait a second. Let me actually describe the hotel. Actually, wait. Let's get out of this whiteboard. Let me set the scene for all of you guys. All right. So you either through your own personal vehicles, which I don't think many of you have other than a jetpack, take the public transportation or the hover train to the Ishpeming Arms Hotel, in which you set August up in a deluxe suite, which you do obviously have the room for, and he has kind of flag security to let you through. You take an elevator up to the 32nd floor to room 3209. This wonderful like burgundy door in this very, very high highfalutin type of hotel. You open up and you would see August, who is dressed in seems to be a very comfortable and very fluffy like white what do you call it?
Robe?
Night coat, bathing robe.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, fluffy and white bathing robe, and his hair's squeaky clean, and there are like plates of half-eaten room service food like all over the bed. But he's kind of pushed the television in the room off to one side, one corner, and he's used the desk, every single other surface other than the bed, which seems to be where his kitchen is, which is ironic because there's a kitchenette in this suite, and that's covered with a variety of computers, either personal laptops, small databases. It looks like he's running his own miniature server in here, track devices, data pads, the whole kit and caboodle. It looks like he's packed up everything that was on the Behemoth or the Rhapsody and lugged it with him to kind of set up this little impromptu operations center, right? And despite the mess of half-eaten food and wires and computer devices everywhere, he seems to know where everything is. He gives a very brief tour of the place. He's not really much of a tour guide. And he kind of sits down. And, of course, Morgan McLaughlin, Marla Stotch, Blink, Alicia are all here. Zoe is still in her meeting with the vice president of Northern God, so she isn't present. But August will kind of look around through his thick glasses and say, "So, how were the day's events? There was word of bringing me some information to help, decrypt, analyze. What do we got?"
Am I here?
Yes, Mila and Bear are here.
Yeah, how'd it go?
Al's actually the first thing he's going to do is kind of ignore for now the question or leave others to answer it. He's going to go over to Alicia, seeing the obvious gash on her neck.
Yeah, we kind of got shot at.
That's exciting.
Yeah, another sort of pseudo drive-by shooting, but we got the situation
got out
handled.
this time, Alicia says,
Yeah.
and we kicked their ass.
Mm-hmm. We ended up.
Go ahead.
We ended up getting pictures of all the murals that we could. I think we might have missed one because I'm not sure if we went up that building or not, but we got a
We
bunch.
missed two.
Two. But after...
One we were next to, we did not take a picture of. Did not have the time.
Yeah.
How's Patrick looking, by the way?
Right now, he looks like he has a migraine. He's rubbing his temple constantly.
You might not notice, but Ellie's like slowly scooting herself over to you.
So we've got 3 pictures. 3 of the murals. Patrick, you said you wanted to hand over the pictures. What's
Okay.
up, Lavin?
I would like clear out like just push aside some of the plates on the bed and dump out all the garbage. Like we put all that stuff in a bag, just dump it out on the bed.
Okay. A few flakes of broken disc falls into what appears to be half-eaten steak tartare. But other than that, Lavin has this like garbage bag with him, this green garbage bag, and when he dumps out, appears to be hunks of metal, scraps of plastic, and like a big melted lump that looks like one of August's computers if it went literally to hell and burned to death. This tangled black, torn mess. It's more of it better serves as a freaking paperweight than anything else. But it's there now on August's bed, and August looks plainly to Lavin and says, "Why did you dump my garbage on my bed?"
I could have dumped it on the floor, I guess. Everywhere else looks full.
Okay.
It's not garbage.
August
Look,
says, and he closes his eyes and he says, "Allow me to reword this. What is this garbage?"
I think it was a computer. Right? It was a computer and a bunch of like
Yes.
discs and stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Al, without turning his attention away from examining Alicia's deck, assuming she lets him.
Yeah, of course you allow him. He's
Examining
traveled with you long enough.
examining Alicia's neck, he would say there was a gentleman making vid caps of the Hell Riders and what they were doing. They got to him and smashed things up pretty good, but this is what was left. Damn, Alicia, what are you trying to get new scars to pick up boys or something? Who stitched this?
Paramedics, she says, but they were in a bit of a hurry.
All right.
And she says, what I do with my scars or my boys is only my business. And she kind of gives a sarcastic wink to Al.
Al nods, and he reaches for his med kit and then pauses and goes, magical and non-magical.
She says, don't waste your energy on magic. Just give me a little something for the pain and I'll be fine.
Right. He nods and he starts to unzip his kit. He'll say, I'm going to have to redo these stitches, though, or it actually will leave a scar.
I'm just thinking as a GM. Yeah, I'll let you say that. I was about to say the paramedics aren't complete fucking garbage, but it creates an interesting scene, so I'll allow it.
Thank you.
No problem.
And I was going to say, from my point of view, they didn't have to do a bad job to still leave a scar.
He just. I understand. He wasn't excused to touch Alicia's neck. I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Smooth. Okay, but yeah, she'll agree to it. You guys can like go to the bathroom, which is ironically the only place that doesn't have computers or food on it. And you have a mirror, good lighting, to restitch her.
Okay.
All right, but more on point. August kind of looks at everything. And he says, even if I could suss out the usable hardware from the knot, I'd have to test each single fragment. And he says, to be honest, there's maybe a 5% chance that I'll recover anything of value. And it will be a significant time sink. But, he says, I guess I have nothing else better to do unless you have something else.
No, we didn't find much else. There was a guy chopped up in a toilet and all this stuff. Oh, we have 3 vid caps, right? So I'd be able to toss them like the good live vid caps. I haven't watched them yet.
Oh. He says, August like grabs the vid caps and he heads over to one of his computers and he says, you might have wanted to start with that. And if it's okay by you, August will put the first one in.
Do it.
And play that for everyone to hear. Okay. So he puts them in order that you give them, which is actually the order, well, in the following order. They are... When the screen turns on and the first vid cap starts playing, you see a African-American gentleman. He looks like maybe he's in his 50s or so. He has dark hair. Oh, hello. Who did we lose?
Oh, I'm back.
There we go. He has dark, kind of curly hair, cut very short. He has some gray around the ears and a little bit gray in his very, very short beard that he has. He has dark brown eyes, and he is extremely animated. These vid caps look like he's sitting down in a chair in front of his desk where the computer is, and a small camera is kind of filming him because Al and Lavin, you recognize the background as his living room. And he says, my friends, my neighbors, despite what good you think these Hell Riders are doing, they are vigilantes. They are not a substitute for the law, nor are they doing good as you might think. I know, he says as he brings a hand to his forehead, I know it's hard to argue with what happened to that scumbag, that Sean Phelps, but think, where is the limit? No law speakers, no organizational process, and no culpability. What's their definition of a criminal? And are you going to fall into it? Will they pay you or your loved ones the next visit like they did to that rapist? Please, see the sense in this. Stop helping them. And with that, the first vid cap turns off. August takes the ejected disc and he grabs the second one and he looks to the collected individuals.
Ellie waves.
He gives a little wave back and he says, should I put the next one in?
Lavin says, are you going to eat this stuff?
He says, oh, no. He kind of sniffs up his nose. He goes, it's old now. And although, as you look through the variety of dishes, August has this weird concept of old because, like, some of it's still a little warm. One of them is like ice cream that's half eaten and it isn't completely melted or anything like that.
It's like my wife.
There you go. Actually, spoiler alert, it's like my sister too. My sister has this weird concept. She's like, oh, that food's old. They're like, it's been in the fridge and it's only been 2 days. It's perfectly fine.
Great.
How about a bag of potato chips that's been open for half a day? That's old.
Yep. Okay, so that the food is in that condition.
Yeah, I'm all about that food.
All right, excellent. Yeah, like I said, there's some steak tartare. There's like half-eaten cheesecake. There seems to be this wonderful like clam chowder that's nearby, etc., etc. Anyways,
Nothing makes you hungry like seeing a guy flush down a toilet.
Well, yeah. That smell, by the way, is still. Ooh, Ellie.
Yeah.
Since you have a very, very heightened sense of smell, you would actually smell like a small residual from Al and Lavin's clothing. It's this very sickening smell, like a burning rubber or like a piece of pork that's burned like right to a cinder.
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
Ellie will like her face will squinch up like anytime either one of them like walks by her.
Oh, nice. Perfect. August looks to everyone as he kind of gestures for the second disc to go into the player.
Yeah.
Okay. Once again, the video is of the same gentleman. His beard looks like it's gotten maybe a little bit longer. It's a little bit more disheveled. But otherwise, the man is quite composed. This time, however, It's once again what appears to be in front of his desk, but behind him isn't just his living room. He has what appears to be a what do you call those things? It's hard for me to describe. It's think of like old-timey, not old-timey, but okay, imagine like a huge piece of paper. Oh my goodness. On a stand, like an artist easel, but it has this long paper. Oh my god, I'm making absolutely no sense.
PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, like a projection screen.
But with physical paper instead of a screen.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know, actually, they're still called easels.
Easels.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. An easel. Thank you. Anyways, there's an
I was
easel
easel.
behind him. Oh my god. All right. I will allow that pun. There's an easel behind him. Well, what appears to have some sort of graphs or some data on it. It's kind of out of focus as the camera is focused on his face. And he's a little bit more calmer in regards to this. His first one was very emotional, very animated. And he states, "This vidcap will not be like the last. I will not appeal to your feelings nor your fears. I will appeal to your logic. Look at this." And he moves to one side, his hand gestures towards the easel, and the camera kind of, you can see his hand bring up to like focus the camera as it zooms in a little bit. He says, "Look at this. Pure, unhindered data. I still have many friends at the IPD, and they have provided this. Look, a 3% increase in missing persons over the past 3 weeks. You might not think this is very much. After all, with all this doomsaying, this concern, some cases panic over this swarm that's supposed to come and destroy our planet. Wouldn't some people live without a trace? You might ask yourself. Mercs coming and going within our city. Maybe a daughter or son has run off with them. But look more closely, my friends. If we break it down to these neighborhoods," and he turns the page of the easel, and you can see a map of Ishpeming, all broken down by its community districts. And he points to them. If we break it down to the neighborhoods, the districts, these sectors of Ishpeming, the truth becomes more clear. Here in the Hayward, the Croom, the Rossiter, and our very own Loris Station districts, missing persons reports have gone up 45%. 45. Everywhere else, it has gone down by 5 to 50%. And these areas, these 4 areas, are the very areas where we all know the Hell Riders the most. This is where they do their business, where they keep their secrets, and what secrets we keep, it seems, if not by our own will, but by their own hands. Wake up. This is no true safety, my friends. These Hell Riders are true to their name. We have opened the door, and they will bring hell to us. And with that, the second vidcap ends. August takes out the disc, goes for the last one that was handed to you by the elven woman, Zenthia. Looks to everyone to continue. Go ahead, Al.
You hear from the bathroom, is there any way we can confirm those stats?
We
August
would have
said,
to ask our connections because we do not have any.
Because those are some pretty big numbers if it's true.
3 weeks is a pretty short period, though. I mean, I have a hard time believing that any gang would kill a guy over this. I mean, some guy blabbing on his video camera. Whoop-de-doo. Third one's got to have something better than that, I would think.
Now with that, August says, "Shall I play it?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hear from the bathroom, yes, please.
Okay, and he puts it in. And you see, once again, another vidcap. The easel is gone now. It's just picture of this same gentleman, this African-American gentleman. And he's very close to the camera. He's almost whispering to it conspiratorially. His hands are clenched in front of him in nerves. And This video doesn't have this same, I guess you could say, charisma to it, the same force to it, the same pleading to it. It seems a little bit more frantic, as he says, 3 years pension seems little when it comes to the safety of our homes, our families, and I will not see it torn down by whispers, secrets, intimidation, and terror. So with that in mind, I have been forced to do what I swore to myself as a patrolman for 25 years to never do, to bribe. I spread the credits for my pension around, and it seems to have loosened some lips, enough to get a name. A name, my dear friends, whom I think you want to listen to. Jester Cameron. Jester Cameron. And you can see, like, the look on his face is one of pure disgust as he swivels his head around. Jester Cameron, thug sergeant of the Hellscape Street Gang, drug dealer, poison peddler. That cruel intimidator is calling the shots. He's running the Hell Riders operation. The leaders of these saviors of yours, these vigilantes who will do things the IPD won't. He's a criminal himself. Johnny Watson, the one whose crank nearly killed Kimberly and Grant. The Hell Riders paid him a visit, and he's out of our hair now. Good riddance. Jester Cameron is 10 times worse than the Watson boy. Join with me. There is still time, day or night. Come to my home. You don't need to talk to the police. I'll deal with them. I'll talk for you. We aren't armed like these Hellrider brutes, but we do have one weapon they fear. The truth. Speak the truth with me. Let's get these bastards out of Laura's station. And with that, the vidcap ends.
Again, you hear from the bathroom. That sounds like something he might get killed over.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, could have
If
even
we-
been the people supporting the Hell Riders and not even the Hell Riders themselves.
That's what I'm thinking. If he was spreading around money around his bribes, there'd be enough people out there to rat him out. And if he got that kind of information, best to take him out before he gets more information.
Who is he talking to? Is he talking to us? Does he know that we're going to find these videos?
He
was
talking
distributing them
to the people in his neighborhood. Yeah.
Ellie's like right up against Patrick, like kind of eyeing him. Patrick.
There we go.
Patrick.
Piph, are you muted? Piph, are you even there? Patrick.exe has failed.
There
Yeah,
we go.
sorry. A slight twitch, like something just prodded him. He goes, "Yeah, hi, mate, Ellie.
Are you feeling all right? You don't look so good. Maybe Al should look at you next.
I'm sure I'm fine, but yeah.
Do you want to go for a walk? Do you
Away.
want to go on an adventure?
Not at the moment. I'm going to gonna relax a bit more.
Okay. She like kind of smiles at you, places her hands like on her lap, and like just stares forward every now and then, peeking at you.
You see his eyes are like tightened shut. He has not opened them throughout the conversation either. His hands have stopped being on his head, but he is just. He doesn't seem to be in the best place at the moment.
Gotcha. Well, Alicia says, Tom also took some pictures of this graffiti.
Yeah, let's check it out. See if we can find some kind of code or something in there.
Yeah, I did. Here they are, and August and everybody will see like 60% of them have Blink in the picture or Alicia in the picture, and it's just all in the background.
Gotcha. Although Patrick did take over taking a few of the pictures after the first batch, but August kind of uploads them onto his computer, and he susses out what he calls the relevant from the irrelevant ones, which causes Blink to frown deeply as she just found out that all the irrelevant ones are the ones with her in it. But I would like now, we're going to kind of zoom out a little bit as far as the role-playing the scene goes. And we're going to do a very small skill challenge for those who are interested. Now, what is required for this skill challenge is programming and or cryptology. So if you have this skill and would like to participate, then you may.
I don't.
You make that noise. I'm like, why is she making an excited noise? She doesn't have these.
The person who's like not at all computer savvy.
I have neither of these, but I have an idea.
All right.
That's just as good.
Yeah, it could be. It could even be better.
Could I use my art?
Here, let me zoom. Sorry, let me just bring. Since Criana, I don't think actually saw the pictures of the graffiti. I'm going to zoom the players over to there.
Can I jury-rig cryptology?
Nope.
What?
He's full of shit. Don't listen to him.
There you go.
Oh, it's actual graffiti.
Yeah, it's actual graffiti.
I thought it was like the name that was like part of the town.
No.
We're going over to the graffiti.
But
that'd be the best town ever.
A little graffiti that is suspected to be a secret code that the Hell Riders use to do something.
Like these are actually like pictures we can use to determine what it means.
Exactly. That's actually what the cryptology skill is for. The programming might come into play later on. We'll see. But all right. So everyone who doesn't have it has said that they don't have it, but who does and would like to participate?
I have cryptography.
Perfect. Good. Anyone else?
I have a question. And if it's even possible, I'd expect it to have a severe penalty. But would it be possible to maybe use my intelligence skill to see if there's any typical patterns one might find in coded messages?
Unfortunately, no. Reading the description for intelligence doesn't bleed over to what this skill challenge requires. Unfortunately.
Then no, I got nothing.
Okay.
So Trick has both of these.
Perfect.
Yeah. I think Byrne said that would art count in any facet?
Well,
he said he had an idea, but then people...
Yeah.
Go ahead. What's up?
I was actually going to say, would I be able to use art to try and figure out what is out of place? Because I would imagine that cryptography, like, you're trying to hide a message, so there has to be some kind of form and code with it, and then you have the rest of the art as a distraction. But if I could find where, like, let's say, why is there a little heart down here? Why is
so
this?
you're doing the old... I know what actual art is. This isn't it. It's one of these things is not like the other idea.
Yes.
Okay, you know what? I like that. I like that quite a bit.
Okay.
Because, you have art as a background. So tell you what, there is going to be a penalty to this, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because it can't be a substitute for cryptology at all.
Oh, yeah.
But put it at a -40.
Okay.
And let me know.
I got a question.
Sure.
Are these pictures themselves actually significant, or are we just looking at these because they're graffiti? Does that make sense? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. If you're wondering if you as a player can suss out what's going on, kind of. I didn't pick these pictures at random, but this isn't part of a puzzle. Like, the pictures I'm giving you aren't a part of a puzzle that you could figure out. You're only going to be able to really figure this out by using skill checks.
Skill checks. That's okay. That's fine. My other question then, follow up to that would be: are there any characters that appear to be not English? Because perhaps some other language skills could potentially be useful here.
That is
You
true.
know what? I like that interpretation as well. There are two of the graffiti do have different languages other than American. This one has French. This one has Spanish.
Mm.
Well, count me out on those.
I am going to make my art roll
Wait.
to
Okay.
just get it out of the way.
I'm
Is
sorry.
that cool?
Oh, well, what's up, Lavin?
Euro was a language in the book, so that would include both French and Spanish, wouldn't it?
Unfortunately, in the Risk post-apocalypse, they're actually distinct from each other.
What does Euro encompass then? I don't recall.
Euro is more of a Scandinavian German-based language that has kind of evolved on its own.
Okay, that's fine. Just
Most
curious.
people in the Euro continent speak now. It's kind of weird, but yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, Tom. Go for it.
No. And whereas, interestingly enough, French is more closer to French Canadian now in the post-apocalypse, since it's North American based, compared to like actual Parisian French. And it's kind of the same thing with the Spanish as well.
Mexican.
It's based more of Mexican than from Spain. Anyway, go ahead and make your art roll, Tom.
I fail by 21.
Okay. So it's not a huge failure. So you're only able to glean the information, which is, this could be helpful or not, is that from what you can tell, you can't see anything that sticks out. As far as a form or as a piece of art, you're not really familiar with graffiti art, especially in the urban environment. You're more familiar with, watercolors, pastels, the traditional shit. But you do know this, which is whoever was hired to do this wasn't just some random kid off the street. There's some real form and artistry to this. In fact, a form and artistry that would take years and years and years to perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Useful information for the group.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so now let's do a cryptography check for those who have it. Now, give me a moment, because the actions that you did actually did have positive modifiers. I just very quickly have to go through my notes and figure out what those modifiers were.
That robot's sure got a crazy look on his eye.
Yeah.
Oh, Patrick, you have an anthropology skill as well, right?
Yep.
So I would like you to roll both programming and anthropology separately. No modifiers to either, and just let me know if you succeed or fail.
Okay. So this is anthropology.
Mm-hmm.
Success.
Success by 1. Ooh.
Good thing you only want to know success and failure.
Yeah, exactly. This one's a little bit more binary.
All right. And programming.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Programming. Success.
Nice. Okay. So, all right, good. So, Lavin, your cryptography has absolutely no penalty to it. You have all these pictures in front of you. You're able to kind of suss things out. And Patrick, you get to do your cryptography bonus. So you make it easier by 20. Now, interestingly enough, because of your different backgrounds, you guys are both going to discover different things if you succeed, but they're both going to be very relevant. So, go ahead and roll, fellas.
There you go.
So there's a success for Patrick, and there is a
Big old fail.
Fail for Lavin. Okay. So I hate to leave you in anticipation, but another byproduct of drinking a bunch of Pepsi before the session is that nature calls. So I will be right back. Quick bathroom break.
Okay. Damn you, Pepsi!
This is why we always choose Coca-Cola, because you can't pee when you have Coke inside you.
I'll take the same opportunity. Be right back.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, I'm back. Hello? Okay. Everybody here? No?
I am. They all.
Oh, they all
They
did the
went
bathroom
to
break?
the bathroom. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sweet. Works for me. In the meantime, you can be my witness. I'm actually going to roll a check for August, since he's also going to look at this stuff as well. And he also has programming. A 20% bonus. He'll have some insight as well.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll wait for everyone to get back before I divulge the information.
Cool.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
All right.
There's Squee and Criana. Still got to get back.
Yep. Great. We'll just wait for them to return, and we'll continue on.
Cool.
Personally, I'm glad you're drinking Pepsi. Usually, you guys go for a really long time without breaks.
Yeah. We're pretty H-core. No, just kidding.
No, we're
I
pretty
find
used
that
to
really
it.
funny. By the way, about your wife and the chips and my sister, it's the exact same mentality. I'll never understand it. That's really funny, actually. In August, I guess we can say now too.
She had like these like clips to seal up the chip bags.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even. Whatever. I just put them in a bowl and leave them on the fucking counter. What do I care?
I mean, sure, after a day or two, they can definitely go stale, but half a day, potato chips are like, most of them have a bunch of grease in them. That seals in. That's a good protector for a little while. It's funny. That's really funny. They're old. Sweet. Well, do you or Byrne or Piph have any questions while we take this?
You were gonna send me some skills from the Ultimate Edition or something.
Oh, fudgesicles! I didn't do that. I'm a whore. Okay. Let's see if I can quickly do that now.
I do have a question, but it doesn't pertain to this actual
Campaign. Oh,
It pertains to a different campaign.
I have a lot of questions that don't pertain to this campaign. Can we just start firing those off?
No.
What's
What
the
is the
meaning
meaning
of
to life? Yes. Yes.
No.
Great minds think alike.
Basically, I was just wondering if, after the session, you, me, and Squee could figure out a way to feasibly do the what we eat on the Starluck.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, because I know that you were very passionate about high class food and all of that. I don't know how to do it.
Okay. Well, we'll leave that for that campaign, so we're
Alright,
not
cool.
confusing people who are listening right now. People are like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah.
Why are they talking about food? Why is there a lucky star? Why is Inferno distracted as he's desperately trying to just... You know what? I'm going to just send you the PDF, Spiral. And I'll tell you what page to look on, rather than me just taking out the page. Will that work for you?
No, you mean the whole Ultimate Edition PDF?
No,
That'd be
it's
awesome.
not Ultimate Edition. It's the Game Master's Guide that
the GM
literally
guide.
has a bunch
Ooh.
of skills from a bunch of other supplements and shit.
I use
It doesn't have
Then
the
I'll-
descriptions, but it has
then I'll
the
know all your
references to it.
secrets.
So if you look, no, you won't. Trust me,
Yeah, I
you
know.
will not. But but in all seriousness, although it doesn't list out the descriptions for all of them, you can at least see what you like, and it says, what book it's in and what page and whatnot. And
I could probably Google
get
it
that
once I
for
know
you.
the name of the skill. I probably could have Googled it
yeah,
myself
actually,
anyway.
you can probably do that because there is
Wow.
totally wikis on that. So
Game
let me
Master
just get
Guide's
this.
so good.
It is really
I
handy.
use that well, I don't use the actual screen, but the information that's on the Game Master screen, I use all the time.
Sure, of course. That's why it's on the screen.
Well, but I mean, I've
Interesting.
seen some Game Master screens that have just useless, like half the screen you never use. It's just useless information.
Yeah.
It's a really well designed one, I think.
There you go.
Hi.
Okay. All
Cool,
right,
man.
we're back. Oh wait, this is very
No.
important. In honor
No.
of Criana.
No.
Let's play the game called "What's in Criana's Mouth"
Hi.
before we continue on. All right.
Alright.
I'm gonna guess it didn't sound crunchy or anything like that. I'm gonna guess a sandwich. She made
Okay.
herself a quick sandwich.
Mhm.
Bagel.
I'm going with cake.
Oh.
Bagel.
Mhm.
Piph.
A crisp apple.
Oh. Shot in the dark there, huh?
Amber.
A nice healthy carrot to crunch
Hey,
on.
you only get one guess.
Rule breaker. Bern already said bagel.
Oh, you did say
Yeah.
2 bagels. All right, what we got, Criana?
It's a cinnamon roll.
Oh,
Oh,
Cake
So
is
kind of
close.
like cake and
Yeah.
kinda like
That's a
Cake
stretch.
bagel.
That's a
Yeah,
stretch.
big stretch. It's definitely not an
Mine
apple.
was the closest.
Yes. Didn't
All right,
you know
anyway.
the cinnamon rolls are on the fruit table?
Mhm.
Anywho, let's get back onto this so I can tell you what the results of the rolls are. So, Lavin, unfortunately, you're not able to really decipher much out of this. However, both August and Patrick, they do have to spend some time looking this over. So, it will be about an hour or two. Obviously, you don't have to have your characters sitting around August's room the entire time. But I will kind of just speed ahead what the conclusion is, for the sake of brevity. So the first thing that's sussed out is that if you don't look at these images as images, but as lines and circles, it starts to tell a bit more of a story. And after the first hour or two, August and both Patrick come to the same conclusion, that this is a language, but by looking at the lines and circles, it is actually, instead of a language written in Euro or American or French, it is a very, very old programming language. Now, programming languages, very similar to modern day languages, have evolved over time. And this one is back, it was considered old back during the golden age of man. It's called binary. It's a series of ones and zeros. So they line up, they count all the lines, count all the circles, they line them all up. And even though August and Patrick have a rudimentary idea of binary and how that translates, it still doesn't make a ton of sense. Until they drop every third character. This takes another few hours. But after dropping every third character, whether it be a 1 or a 0, it begins to make sense. And all the pieces fall into place. And this information is a gold mine. It states Hellrider Corporation missions. Specifically, the locations to hit, the code name of squad that is to be assigned, and the time and date of the operation. The good news is that you've cracked this code. The bad news is that all these bits of graffiti are old data. The most recent one is actually the organized hit on the brothel in Ishpeming. But if you were to provide, well, you have this information now of how to decipher it, and if you were to communicate it, any new graffiti that pops up would be able to be deciphered and programmed very quickly, and you could glean the next place that will be attacked.
May I ask? I know I was asking about this one before, but this is a very different situation. Could I perchance try and use intelligence to learn more about, since it deals specifically with attaining information from captured documents and information, to maybe see if I can assess modus operandi, how they operate, maybe how they might hit their next target, or what to be looking for, or something like that. Something of how this paramilitary organization works.
Sure. See, now that's exactly what the intelligence skill is for. So yeah. Now I would like you to make it harder by 10 because this isn't. These are documents, for lack of a better word, but it's not a huge breadth of information. But it's definitely some. So make it harder by 10.
Okay.
And I will.
I fail by 14. So no.
So no. Remember, with the exception, unless I say you just need to succeed or fail, how much you succeed or fail by still can help you. I mean, it's not like you don't have the intelligence skill, right? But the information that you do get is limited, and it corroborates a lot of the experiences. What you can decipher from what this seems like is that this is a fire team-based organization. They use coded messages. They obviously try to blend in with the crowd, and they have a very quick guerrilla style of warfare. They have obviously access to weapons. They have access in which to smuggle weapons into the city. And in order to, this level of organization does imply significant military experience. That's all that you can glean for certain.
That's still a decent amount of information. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I said, you still have intelligence, right? If you succeeded.
So if I understand correctly, I can assess, or at least it's logical to assess from this, when they hit a target, they're generally not going to hit with more than, say, 5 or 6, a fire team, well equipped, well armed, and they're going to be very fast.
And hit by surprise and then get out just as fast.
So okay, yeah, that's actually a lot of information.
Imagine what you've got if you succeeded. But that's okay. All right. So what would you guys like to do next? You're conveniently all together in the hotel room, and even while Patrick and August are kind of deciphering these clues, you can definitely all kind of converse together and decide what you want to do next. Me as a GM, you could go to the Office of Loft Prevention with this information, and the Lionel did say that you didn't have to succeed. You didn't have to do all 3, for lack of a better word, testing ground missions, but there is still a possible objective that you could complete, which is the identification of a possible training ground just outside to the east of Ishpeming. There's 2 possible training grounds, very small training grounds for the Hell Riders, and you are to identify which one is actually the Hell Riders and not just an innocent mercenary company. And if you choose, destroy it. So I'll leave it to you guys as players and as characters to suss out where you want to go on.
My thoughts, and I'm very, very open to what the group decides. My thoughts would be take this information to them ASAP, because the sooner they get it, the sooner they can start using it to save people's lives. And listen to what he says after that, and then from there decide, do we want to take the 3rd objective or any new objectives that are offered? That would be my thought.
Yeah, I think getting the info to them ASAP would be important as well. Like, we don't know, they could change the code.
Yeah.
If we take too long. Like, I think you want to get this to a useful point ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can listen to what he has to say, like say, now that you've proven yourselves, do this. And we can still say, yeah, but we want to do this first. I mean, we, listen to what he has to say and then choose, I think would be a good method.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I
Can
mean,
it
for all
break-
we know, too, like, rather than doing the camp thingy, we might get some graffiti update and be sent somewhere else instead, right?
Yeah, it's true.
There's 2 camps to blow. No. Double the camps. Patrick, Ellie, any objections? Or
To blowing up.
I'm muted.
No, to telling them the information, seeing what they say, and then deciding our next step from there.
Yeah, like, who knows? They could have seen, like, another piece of graffiti somewhere down the road and already nabbed a picture of it. And
Or
Exactly.
yeah, or come like they may say there's something that's far more pressing than that group, or maybe not, and we'll decide to go take down that group.
the training
I'm
camp.
game.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
game.
I think giving them information as quickly as possible is a really good idea. And to say that we are still in the services for another job, which may still include the older ones that you've given.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yay.
So yeah, it sounds like you guys are all in agreement. So, I'm assuming you guys would just radio this in as soon as Patrick and August have finished deciphering everything, right?
Yes.
So like I said, this took about 3 or 4 hours to do. So now we're about late in the afternoon, around 4 o'clock or so, when you radio in to the Office of Loss Prevention. And you don't get the voice of Victoria.
Just said you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, we should be live. I'm very, very sorry.
No, don't worry about it. I mean, yes, it's your
How
fault, Blue
dare
Screen.
you?
Yeah. No, we're good.
It's your fault burn.exe stopped working.
Anyways.
Literally.
But it was good because during the time while Patrick and August were deciphering this code, Al was going to send off a magic Pidgeon.
Yeah, so Al would probably ask Patrick, so do I need to write this out beforehand and then, like, give it to the pigeon? How does that work exactly?
If I remember correctly, out of character, it doesn't specify when any of that particularly happens. So I'm assuming it can probably be done before or after.
Typically, when you've seen it cast, the pigeon shows up, you give it the message, then the
Mhm.
pigeon flies away and delivers that message in your
Okay.
own voice.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
I believe it also can deliver actual, like, written note, if I remember.
Yes, yeah. It has a little, what do you call those little scrolly things on its leg, so you could deliver a handwritten note too.
Okay, good. That'd be much less confusing for that poor girl. It sounds like not him. All right.
Now, for the sake of the, I know like you already have like written out what the message is
Mhm.
going to say, but why don't you communicate it to everyone?
Sure. So I did write out, or Al would write out something very much along the lines of what you guys have seen before. Where do you want me just to read it real quick, or?
Yeah, read it.
Okay. He writes out, "Please stay a while and listen to my tale of the misguided Hell Riders. Feeling safe behind their walls of violence, the Hell Riders boldly faced the powers of Ipshmin. Enraged, I watched as they slaughtered innocents in their bid for power. Their will was strong enough to even threaten the Dame from her throne deep underground. It be said that Hell Riders were blinded by their own arrogance and did not see their approaching doom. However, their downfall was not the design of the powers of the city or even the mighty Dame. For soon the Hell Riders will be brought low by a simple group of adventurers looking for lost kin. Deftly, I shall enthrall you with this tale of good against evil. Anger, love, and sacrifice shall be the weapons I use to draw on your heartstrings. Rejoice! You are about to experience the journey of a lifetime." And of course, he would start it with the a very, very long time ago.
No, a long time ago, a
yeah.
long time away. Yeah.
And the actual message, much like hers, is basically just says, "Stay safe. I will be there soon. I love you.
There you go. Cool.
Like it.
And Coda messages for the win.
And with no capital A's. I don't want her to go anywhere.
Oh, I get it. At what time? No, just kidding. Perfect.
So he would write that down, roll it up,
Roll it up.
and then for
Put it
the
in the
first
pigeon.
time ever, cast the spell from a scroll.
All right. You
Does it-
mhm.
Does it take ISP?
ISP? No.
I'm sorry, PPE.
No, the PP is imbued. Okay, I'll describe it for you. That'll help.
Ooh.
That'll help.
Ooh.
So you unroll this scroll that you acquired quite some time ago, and it's old, like dusty paper, and you intuitively begin to read the words, the incantation. Gesture your hands as you need to, and imagine if on a piece of tissue paper, a small fire started on the top left-hand corner of it. But instead of a bright orange fire, it is a deep emerald green. It begins to spread down and disassemble and disintegrate the scroll. And as it does so, Al, you can sense that mystical energy coming from it. Instead of having to focus in your own energy, you grasp out to it and harness that to give birth to the magical effect, which is, unceremoniously, a small, squat gray pigeon that has setted itself on that half-eaten cheesecake on August's bed. It's little bird claws embedding in the frosting as it looks up to you. I'm assuming you would place the scroll in this little scroll by its foot.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as you do so and you clack it front, it kind of heads towards the window and kind of like bumps up against it a few times. Thump,
Wow.
I would be like,
Thump,
can someone,
flap,
can
flap,
someone
flap, flap,
please?
thump. flap, 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 thump.
I'll do it. Opens the window.
Thankfully, the window does open up a crack, and the pigeon does come out and flap away, and then, like a dart through the city, disappears out of sight, heading towards the south of your location, before it disappears past some high skyscrapers and other buildings.
Al would look to Patrick and say, "So that's it. I mean, if she doesn't get it, if it's not able to return it, will I, or give her the message? Will I know somehow?" Al
Piph?
says, waiting upon bated breath.
Patrick, you're muted. You're always
I'm
muted.
muted again. Patrick responds, from my knowledge, it depends on how skilled the magic user is who casted it, and that will depend on the longevity of the bird, and it will continue to try to get to its target for set amount of time. I'm sure around my particular I would say around a year for myself, if I send out a pigeon. He's still like clutching his head with a
Right.
hand at this point. I don't really understand entirely how scrolls work, but I just say it was based off of Skull Creator. It might be around the same amount of time.
Okay. How about I take a look at you too, just to make sure you're okay, like Ellie suggested.
Yeah, I have time.
Okay. Well, you don't even have to do a skill check. Physically, Patrick's fine.
So I'm assuming by this point Al's starting to recognize these symptoms when it comes to Patrick
what?
specifically. No, Patrick, there's been times when violence is involved that he gets very headaches and acts like he is not well. Because I know this isn't the first time I've
Sure. I mean, if
examined
you
Patrick.
want to rationalize that as a character, like no problem, right? You don't need
Oh, yeah.
like a skill check for it or anything like that. And you don't have to ask me, right? That's
Yeah.
more about interpersonal character interaction, right? Yeah, no worries.
Then Al would make sure he's fine, then give him whatever the form of like Tylenol would be in this world,
Uh-huh.
and say, here, take that. It'll help you feel better.
It tastes very sugary. No, I'm just fucking with you.
It's Dargabosu!
No, I was implying that was a placebo, but that's okay.
Right.
A sugar pill. Anyway, but yeah, no. Well, Al gives you the pill there, Patrick. I don't know if you want to take it or not, but there you go.
Ellie's still just right beside Patrick, waiting patiently.
Patrick will open up an eye to look at the pill. I'm sure this will go away within time, and he hands it back to Al.
Al nods and without a word of complaint or anything, puts it back in, it's whatever kind of container he would have in his pack.
Okie dokie. All right. So you guys were, like I said, you guys have 4 o'clock, so you have a couple hours if you choose to go to these coordinates, this location that you received from the radio. But what would you? I mean, I'll throw it into your hands as to what you guys would like to do, rather than me just speeding you along.
Would Tom or Patrick or any of the NPCs mention the conversation of the Hellriders saying that they're going to come for us again, and when they do, it won't be like the last time?
I'll leave that up to the players.
Yeah, sure. I mean, unless you don't want to say, Piph.
Let me give some thought. It depends on how soon after. Right, I'll just give everyone's a heads up. You've been with Patrick long enough. He's exhausted.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, Tom, your character was within earshot for this entire conversation. I mean, the van door was open. You were making sure Blank was okay, and she was absolutely fine, but everyone hurt.
Yeah.
These guys weren't trying to be quiet.
Then yeah, I'll repeat the conversation and all of that, and the fact that they think that we are with the black market because we were there to meet with Basilisk and all of that.
Okay. Al then would actually spend at least part of the 2 hours learning or mapping out escape routes from this hotel.
Hotel?
Yeah,
you don't know
hotel
what the
word.
location is.
No.
Well, actually, no, that's not true. That is not true.
I think you mean
Because
from where we are.
No, I'm talking about where we are right
August
now.
hotel.
We're
Oh,
August.
from this
yeah.
hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The location, but also that I can dovetail into the location itself because August has kind of hardwired into the info terminal down at the lobby. I don't know if he was supposed to do that or not, but he has like a city map in front of him and everything like that. He says the hotel security is actually a joke. He says police department and the Northern Gun, on the other hand, are very tough nuts to crack. But this hotel's no problem. And he's able to put in the coordinates, the destination that they said. It appears to be a small, squat tavern called the Minor Worker. But
It's a tavern. Oh.
but he says, well, that's where the street directions were. But you want to map out? Okay.
Well, if he has access to the map, then Al would be interested in basically any places he knows the party will be consistently. This hotel, the hotel they're staying at, and maybe this tavern.
Okay.
Do what he can to map out escape routes and things like that.
Roll me another intelligence, please.
Yeah, actually,
Sure.
on that note,
Mhm.
just something that crossed my mind is having a possible meetup area if everything goes, sideways.
Pear-shaped. Yeah. That's
I
great
rolled
idea.
a 5, so succeeded.
Excellent. That will definitely come into play if necessary. I'll make a note of that. And you have possible exfiltration routes, both conventional and unconventional, all mapped out. No, you're good.
All right.
You're good.
That's what he'd spend his time doing.
All right. No, but Lavin brings up a very good point. Meeting like, oh shit, let's meet here place, right? If you have like an idea of an establishment or a general location in the city, I can kind of help fill in the blanks for you guys if you want. If you want
Someplace
some
publicish, I'm thinking like again like a bar or something like that.
Okay.
That if the hotels are compromised and everything goes wrong.
Well, there is one very large, very public place in Ishpeming, which is called the. Oh my God. I just had the name. I just drew a blank. The Mall of Michigan. There we go. The Mall of Michigan, which is the biggest, most commercial, most public shopping experience this side of the post-apocalypse. All right, it is the be-all. It is a mega mall. With a variety of locations. It's open 24 hours, tons of stuff, tons of foot traffic. You could find a place within there which would be extremely public, extremely insulated. It's highly, it's very secure. There's very few incidences that happen there. It is one of the more public areas in all of Ishpeming.
That could be a good choice.
And very good, easy place to get to. Everyone knows where the Mall of Michigan is.
Ooh, just thinking. Another place. Was it a permanent? Okay, the place where we went to that was kind of like the Northern Gun Showcase Expo, like where they sold stuff.
Yeah. Give me a second. Let me actually be a good GM and open up that document.
Because that would be a
I
place
have in my
most of us
notes.
know, and probably be incredibly hard to to strike at people from, given that it's where Northern Gun shows all their stuff. I would assume it has decent security.
There you go. Ishpeming Guide. Ishpeming Areas of Interest. That place is called... Oh my God. Prototype Previews. Whenever a new Northern Gun product premieres, the corporation is sure to make a publicity event out of the occasion.
Oh, wait, does that mean
It's
like
actually in the Mall of Michigan as well.
Oh, perfect. Well, I was going to say, though, does that mean like on a daily basis, it's probably pretty empty? It's only full when they've got new...
No, they still use it for promotional stuff, even if it's something that's released a few weeks ago.
Oh, okay. So why don't we... Yeah, if it's in the Mall of Michigan, that's perfect. That's a place we've all been to. So maybe we make that as a
and even
meetup
Lavin,
place.
you would definitely know where Prototype Previews is. That's where all the flashy new gear is shown off. And normally Northern Gun gives like discounts to shit, and it's great.
Sounds good.
Wonderful. Okie dokie. Oh my God. Okay, sorry. Just a small out of character aside. That has one of the NPCs. His name is Sean Kennedy. He's the director of previews, and the quick stats literally says this: Sean loves marketing and promotion almost as much as the Northern Gun Corporation. Like, well, way to love your job there, Sean. Anyway.
I was put on this earth to do one thing.
Market things for the Northern Gun.
And show my love
everyone-
for the Northern Gun.
Oh man, I don't know about you guys, but I know diehard corporation guys who just they live and breathe that business, and I'm like, wow. Okay, anyway.
They're all named Chad.
Almost. Almost always. Okay, so are you fine with meeting up prototype previews in case shit goes sideways?
I'm cool with it.
Mhm.
Great.
I'm good with it.
Good. So we'll kind of keep that in mind too, in case you're spread out or need
And
trouble or
If
things
we
go
lose
bad.
all of our guns, we can buy one right there.
Yeah, they'll have to be escorted by security to the demilitarized security point. But yes, you could be able to
Security
at least
escort, perfect.
see for the guns, not for you.
Hey, whatever.
Whatever, as long as they're there, right?
Hey, I know you guys are like escorting our guns, but can we go with you? Because we don't really we kind of don't really feel that safe right now. Is it okay if we if we just go with? Can we just go? Can we just?
There's some Hell Riders after us. Can we just? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you guys have all that sussed out. What would you like to do now?
I'm
Tavern.
good going to the meeting. Yeah.
Okay.
Meeting.
All right, to the Minor Worker Tavern. Okay, so if it's okay by you guys, I'm gonna just zoom y'all ahead to the meeting itself.
Do it.
Since it's small and squat, and it is, you guys don't want to be the most conspicuous. Many, Alicia and Blink wouldn't mind kind of staying with August, making sure everything's okay with her system if necessary. Whereas
Cool.
Bear, McLaughlin, and Marla Stotch will probably head back to the hotel to kind of wait for Zoe and to check in on Hannibal, make sure he's A-okay. So unless you guys really, really want any NPCs to come with you, they suggest that maybe just you 5, you're a little bit more low key compared to like a dozen people showing up. Excuse me, do you have a table for 12? Well, 13, because my big friend here is giant.
No,
Takes up
actually,
two.
I think that makes a lot of sense, especially given that the Hell Riders are saying they're going to mark us again. It'd be good to have protection for our non-combat people. In other words, leaving someone with August is good. Having people there to at least let Zoe know what's going on is good.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Good.
Just too as a side note, I think this entire time I'd be taking glances at that tracer we gave
Zenthia.
Zenthia. That's it.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you. Yeah, you make a note of it. You might be happy to see that the tracer has not been broken. The pen has not been used. And coordinating the map that August has up onto his computer screen and the tracer software that you have, it appears she's snug as a bug in her apartment. Nothing has moved. Nothing. The signal's still broadcasting. You're good. Okay. So if it's all right, I'll skip ahead the transportation, whatever, and I'll just set the scene at the Minor Worker Tavern. Work for you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
The Minor Worker Tavern, much as to what the map provided, is indeed a small, squat brick building that stands out like a sore thumb amidst the high-tech, high architecture high rises, both that flank both the left and across the street from it. And you actually hear rumors heading on over there that the place is owned by probably one of the most stubborn individuals out there who has refused. He's kind of one of the working men, right? And he hates that the common folks that work in the factories and whatnot don't have a really nice place to go to drink, right? Especially not closer to the downtown core. And so despite all the millions and millions and millions of credits that he's been offered to sell the place so they can demolish it and make high rises, he's always refused, flat out, right? Apparently there's even been some legal chicanery that he's been able to win out. But much like its owner, this small, defiant, squat building, when you open up the glass door that has a little crack running down the bottom of it, you are assailed by thick bluish smoke that seems to hover through the entire area, the entire interior of this building. It's mostly booths with a few tables up at the front. It seems to be made of a bunch of old, hardened, gnarled wood, although there are like red cushions on all the booths. There is a bar that flanks the entire left-hand side with a variety of liquors and beers. A variety of beer taps as well that's spread along the entire bar top. One of the bartenders himself is this big, burly, like hairy guy, like this really black, hairy forearms, and he has this big beard, and he's smoking this giant cigar. And there definitely is no smoking signs in here because probably every third patron has some sort of cig stick or cigarette or cigarello or cigar, and they're puffing away, talking, drinking. Some are playing cards. Some are dining what appears to be like this really greasy pub food. And it's loud and it's raucous everywhere. And one individual does stand out a little bit, since first of all, they're by themselves. Second of all, they're not smoking or drinking. And third of all, they're sitting directly in the stall that you're meant to meet to. And it is the same pale, red-headed, freckled woman that Patrick and Tom, and Blink and Alicia, debriefed with after their attack by that graffiti sign. What would you guys like to do?
Ellie looks like she's suffocating. She's
Lavin's like,
coughing
go ahead.
loudly.
Lavin's at home finally. This is awesome. I go to the bar and get whiskey and a cigar.
Good on you. For 5 credits, you get a strong, thick cigar and even stronger whiskey.
Beats corporate headquarters and being turned invisible.
Definitely. Do you mutter that to the bartender?
Yes.
The bartender swings the cigar from one side of his corner to the other, and he goes, "Yeah, tough day.
Tell me about it. You ever seen a dead guy get flushed down a toilet?
He kind of looks at you with like wide eyes as he takes a deep drag of a cigar. He says, "Can't say I have. Did you put him there, killer?" He kind of gives him a big grin.
No, I just found him there. It's gross, man.
He kind of gives a sympathetic nod, and he goes, "Have I seen you in here before?"
I don't think so.
Well, we got a special. For newcomers who found some fucked up shit in the toilet, they get a free whiskey. He says as he brings over another whiskey glass and fills it up and slides it over to you.
All right, cheers. Then I
Cheers.
guess head towards the meeting.
All right, past a very coughing Ellie.
Yeah, Ellie's kind of making a scene.
Oh! It makes
She's
me
like,
day.
she's like covering her ears, like coughing loudly, like, "This place is awful."
You hear from a nearby booth, "Oh, come on there, sweetie. If you don't like the smoke, then get the fuck out." And then the entire table kind of laughs at you.
Ellie gives like a pleading look at her group.
Al will take out maybe a small bandage or something like that and kind of roll it up and offer it to Ellie and say, "Well, I mean, earplugs?"
I got one better for you, maybe. Well, you definitely would maybe have earplugs. Well, I can't say definitely you would maybe have earplugs. That makes no sense. But one thing that probably would be a part of your standard kit would be you have to be very careful of infectious materials, obviously, right? So not only would you have gloves, but you'd also have one of those little face masks.
Oh, that's a very good point. Al would offer that to Ellie and say, "We'll try and be as quick as we can."
Ellie will take it, put it on, and she's still like, you can see just puppy dog eyes staring up at you.
Al will pat her on the shoulder and try and give her a reassuring smile.
Ellie, as you pass by the first booth there, the guy who kind of told you, kind of made fun of you, he's now, as you pass by, he puts his hands over his mouth as like a mock mask. He starts moving his head around, being like, "Oh, this is too bad for me." And everyone's like laughing now at him and you as you pass on by.
Ellie gives him a sympathetic look, like understanding the pain he's going through.
He does not. He does not get your irony. All right,
she's very sincere.
Is there anything else you guys would like to do before heading over to that booth?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
I think I'm
Sure.
good.
Okay.
I would be interested in what kind of like bar snacks and food they have.
Well, they have nachos grande. They have what they call workers' chicken, and they
Ooh, that
have
sounds
something called surprise stew slush. You'd have to order. Well, actually, that's not true because people are eating and drinking. So the the Nacho Grande is a bunch of obviously plain nacho chips, but it is covered with like this greasy cheddar cheese and what appears to be like jalapeno peppers smunked around it, and like you can barely see the chips underneath. Like if you took a paper towel on this nachos grande, it would come back and it would come back like clear, right?
Window to weight gain.
Yes. Yes, Simpsons. Anyways. Hi everybody. Anyways, sorry.
Tom will have one of those.
Oh, okay. I don't even have to describe the other ones. Okay, that's perfect.
Yes.
So you'll order that, probably for the table that you're going to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bartender says, all right, just a few minutes. Hey, Sally, nachos grande for the skinny kid. Table 6. All right, anyway. So you all head over to the booth, and thankfully it's able to fit all of you. 3 of you on one side, 2 of you on the other side with this pale, redheaded woman. She looks, although she does kind of stick out, the way her posture is, she's no longer in her body armor. She's in casual wear, actual casual clothes, a small kind of leather jacket, looks like a sweater underneath, and a pair of brown slacks. And she seems very calm, very composed, not at all besmirched by the smoke or the raucous noise around her. And she says loudly but firmly, "Thank you for meeting us. Thank you for showing the professionalism that we've expected. You mentioned briefly on the radio that you have information for our office. Please speak."
So did Patrick and August explain this to anybody, or do we have to make Patrick to explain this? Because he seems poor.
Well,
Well, we
yeah.
would have had to explain it for Al to make his.
Yeah.
intelligence
Once they
deduction
figured out
check.
the code and everything, August would probably be a little bit more excited than the very weary Patrick.
Right.
But yeah, August loves to show off, and he loves to show people how smart he is, even though his personality has calmed a little bit. So yeah, he would have very gladly been like, "Oh, well, you see, this means this, and this means that, and we can figure out all this now." Yeah, you would have deciphered it to everyone. Yeah.
So I'm actually fine letting Lavin take the lead since he knows these people better than we do. So
Which is ironic because he doesn't know them very
Yeah, I
know. But it is still more than you do. He's had one more meeting than you have with them.
Okay. And I guess since Lavin has cryptology, that
Yeah,
it would make sense to him that he understands what they've discovered.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess Lavin would say, well, we were doing some chores and took some pictures of some of the graffiti around town and discovered a certain code that they're using to plan their movements, and would then explain, how they're doing that.
She looks at you, an eyebrow raised interestingly, and she says, "We suspected a code, but you not only confirmed it, but you have actually deciphered it?"
It would seem that way, yeah. I didn't, not personally, but we've got a team that worked on this, and they came up with these results. And you'll see here that this particular one matched up with their raid on that brothel that we were at.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming you'd pass over the information that you actually gleaned from all 3 sites, right?
Yeah, if there's anything in writing or whatever, yeah, I would show it.
Yeah. Or even at the very least explain it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And she says, "This can be corroborated. Indeed, the other 2 locations, I feel comfortable telling you, were also locations that were hit by, we suspected the Hell Riders, but this does definitely confirm it, at least in one way or another. Explain to me in as plain a way as possible." And she kind of takes a small black stick out of her leather jacket, and she places it in the table in front of you, Lavin. And it appears to be a small audio recorder. And she presses the red button on the side. And she says, I understand the environment is very loud, but speak as clearly as you can into the microphone on how to decipher these graffiti codes, for lack of a better word. Feel free to bring it straight up to your mouth to ensure the highest audio quality.
Well, out of character, that
Mm-hmm.
seems a little suspicious. And I don't recognize this person, right? This isn't the same person we were dealing
No,
with
it
before.
isn't. This is not Victoria Sandler at all.
This was
I would-
For you,
I
she's
would-
a complete stranger.
I would glance around for approval from my buddies here. Like you guys. Are you cool with this?
We
Al's
met
kind
her
of in the same boat because he's not met her before, so
Ellie's eyes are like converging into the center.
Yay! But yeah, no, she's a redheaded stranger.
She came to the scene. She also came through our particular radio contact. If it's one of the Hell Riders, it's not really much that we can do.
Okay, before I do this, Lavin would ask her, so is this the way the radio communication is going to work from now on? Is it we just get a location and show up and meet some random person?
She gives a bit of a smile and she says, Lavin, despite all your boasting, you are pretty sharp. Really glad I did hire you. Hold on a moment. And she says, do your best. Don't react. This will take a few minutes. And with that, her face begins to shift and change. Her nose grows more pointed. Her skin tone deepens considerably. Her hair shortens and turns raven black. And soon, exactly 2 minutes later, you're face to face with Victoria Sandler.
Neat trick.
yeah, Al would be
Sure.
completely unsurprised since he had a lesser version of this, so he's very familiar with it. He would just nod.
And yeah, she gives a bit of a smile. Oh, a trick, just advanced cybernetics.
Yeah, I've seen that model, but I've never had the kind of credits to get that sort of thing.
Very few people do. Plus, it's highly regulated here in Ishpeming. Now,
Yeah.
if you don't mind, I'll resume my cover.
Yeah, and I would spill the beans into the recorder pen stick thing.
Wonderful. Yeah, her face does shift back. Thankfully, the smoke and the noise and whatnot, and the very fact that many of the other hard-working individuals aren't really paying much attention to you. Her face does turn back to the red-headed one as she says, excellent work. Any other information you wish to share?
No, but we thought that maybe if any of the Ishpeming surveillance was able to pick up some more recent coded graffiti, that we could assist in the response.
I see, she says. This is definitely a possibility. Although the Lion is still assessing your reliability right now. I'll definitely bring that to him. I understand the incident this morning, she looks over to Tom and Patrick, has demonstrated your combat prowess and especially being caught off guard. We know that you can deal with Hell Riders. We just want to make sure it's the right button to push at the right moment. We'll keep you occupied.
Yeah.
So,
Out of character. So we went and talked with that one lady. Was there any sort of like goal other than talking with her, or was that just?
Actually, the objective was, give me just a moment. The exact thing that you were asked to do in regards to that is, let me scroll down. Sorry, I have to open up last week's document. Follow up on a concerned citizen, Zentha Yinrel. This person has witnessed an incident with the Hellrider Corp, but vehemently distrusts law enforcement. She's also DB, an elf to be exact. You are asked to assess her information and follow up on any leads. Any information gleaned should be handed off to the
Yeah.
Office of Loss
So
Prevention.
we should probably tell her that stuff.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
should
I was-
probably tell her that. And
Yeah.
the
That
supposed
was the next
leader
thing
of
I
the
was-
entire thing.
Gonna get to as toilet guy.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
toilet guy.
You're on it.
I'll make it. It depends on how you die. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter what his actual name was.
Well, actually, you'll be happy to know. I know his name is Damari Erickson.
No, I am.
Now
very
we move on to what we've dubbed as Toilet Gate.
oh my god! All right, I'll let you get back into character. Also, I'm totally impressed that you remember his name. Or you
Although I
remember
don't remember the Zed chick's name.
Zenthia.
Zenthia.
Zenthia Yinrel. Damn elves. At least it doesn't have a million vowels and a bunch of apostrophes in it. Thanks, Tolkien.
Freaking apostrophes.
I know.
Okay, so then I say so we managed to decipher that code pretty well.
I would definitely say so. The disguise
Well-
Victoria says.
We also went and talked to the elf, Zenthia.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know if that really went that well. She did
Oh.
talk to us, and someone in her neighborhood who is distributing anti-Hellrider Corps messages
Mm-hmm.
appears to have been gruesomely murdered and had all of his records and whatnot destroyed. His name was Damari Erickson, a ex-police officer.
Yes, she says. We were aware of Damari's activities, although we had no idea that he was the object of this elf, this Zenthia's concern. Damari was a very interesting character, 25-year career with the Ishpeming Police Department, and he applied to become a detective 3 times, but he failed because, frankly, he had a problem with authority and clashed considerably with his superiors. We were aware of some of his, like you said, messages that he sent out, in particular one that involved his linking of missing persons to particular areas. We were about to approach him as obviously not a member of the Loss Prevention Office, but similar to yourselves, an associate, a source, a potential ally. You said he was gruesomely murdered. This is extremely concerning. Please
Yeah,
go into some detail.
Well, if the messages I saw didn't strike me as something that would get a guy killed, because it was just a bunch of unfounded. I mean, he seemed to come off to me like a little bit of a raving lunatic, my opinion. But if he was getting the attention of the Office of Loss Prevention, and the Hellrider Corps found out about that would definitely be some incentive to get rid of him.
That
if he
has
was
very
being taken
disturbing. She nods and she says that has very disturbing implications.
He also found a name.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, Jester. Are you guys familiar with the name Jester Cameron?
Yes, she says. Jester Cameron, low-level lieutenant of the Hellscape, went missing 4 months. Went missing 4 weeks ago.
Out of character, should I know what Hellscape is?
Yeah, sure. Remember the office when you were first debriefed by Victoria?
It was emerging, right?
It was emerging between the Hellscape and the. Give me a moment.
And sorry if I interrupted you there, Al. I was getting to the dude.
Oh no, not all means. I mean, I'm fine. You taking point. It's just Al would add in, bits here and there. By all means, buddy.
Let me just open up Lavin's debriefing.
I didn't write down what the merging was.
It was two street gangs, the Hellscape and the Chrome Riders. Hellscape were drug dealers and low-level enforcement. Chrome Riders were a biker gang with suspected juice or chemical smuggling operations. What she told you is that they supposedly merged together with new leadership from a small merc outfit called the Unwavering United Front, or the UUF.
Hang on, I gotta write some of this down.
Sure, I can repeat
The
it.
UUF, the Chrome Riders?
Yep, the Chrome Riders and the Hellscape. These three factions are, at least when Victoria first told you, are suspected as the core of the Hell Rider core.
Cool. Okay, so he went missing 4 weeks ago. That's interesting. In character. That's interesting that you say he went missing, because according to Damari Erickson and some of the information that he was distributing, he's in charge of Hell Rider Corps. Now, I don't know if he's actually accurate or not, but it does certainly suggest that he's a person of some influence or power within that organization.
She nods and she says, "It's a shame that Mr. Erickson is no longer with us, or he'd be able to divulge exactly who he spoke to, who he spread his money around to find." She says, "But the Jester connection could be one of few things. It could be authentic, and as you have suggested, his disappearance implies more covert action within the group. It could also mean that he also ran afoul of the Hell Rider Corps and was dealt with like they usually deal with things. And his name is just thrown out there still as a buzz on the street, or possibly a false flag. This will require further investigation, but the intelligence is absolutely better than nothing. And despite his death, it actually answers more questions and brings up more implications than would have otherwise if you did not investigate."
This might sound a little odd, but do you by chance have a physical description of this Jester?
"Of course," she says. "He is in his late 30s, gnarled hair, very petite for a man, feminine shoulders. He has a very sharp nose, not a very good looker, scar on his chin." And she says, and he's been known for having he's called Jester, because he makes very loud, very boorish, and very crude jokes, which apparently many people find charming or at least entertaining. He's also an accomplished drug cook and one of the most... She pauses for a moment. Hopefully I won't get in too much trouble from the line for divulging a little bit more information than I should, but I believe your intelligence work should be rewarded. Rumor was on the street if you wanted someone to disappear, you went to see Jester."
I see.
Okay.
Anyone with and he look at Tom. Didn't you say something about metal arms?
Yeah, a guy with metal arms would always inspect the graffiti. I was actually thinking of, well, maybe this guy got into some kind of an accident or a row or something and lost his arms.
She says, "We'll look into that, but there are no members of the Hellscape who have bionics. Far too expensive for that low-level criminal group."
Well, if this guy makes people, like, professionally makes people disappear and has a reputation for it, I have a hard time believing he tried to flush a dude down the toilet and left, like, bits in there. That seems like pretty lousy work.
Well, he could have left it to one of his lower guys.
Yeah, maybe.
Possibly, she says. Or even professionals fail a few times.
Yeah.
Or he could be arrogant. It could have been a message. Sooner or later, some law enforcement would have discovered the disappearance and found what they found.
She nods a little bit and she says, "Although, wait, you said Damari was killed, but his remains were flushed down a toilet.
Well, let's give you the scene here. So we walked into this place and it stank. It stank bad. The stench led us to the bathroom, and there were some unusual scorched marks and charcoal, I think, on the bathtub. And the toilet was overflowing, and we opened it up, and there looked like flesh, a little bit of a long pig that appeared to have been flushed down the toilet.
She furrows her brows a little bit.
In my professional opinion, it was seared human flesh.
Well,
but
she says,
impossible to tell who it was exactly.
I do not have the authority to divulge specifics, but I will say this. Similar markings in similar bathrooms have been found in 3 other disappearances, but nothing in the toilet.
Okay.
Although you might have just deciphered one of Jester's modus operandi, or whomever paid him a visit, maybe his underlings. Maybe that's why it got botched up.
And you people don't have any leads on the stench and the scorch marks? Like, what could cause that? Was it psionics, some sort of incendiary device?
She says, we definitely do have some leads, but once again, I don't think we're quite at the level to divulge that intelligence just yet.
Okay.
Fair enough. Then the question is, where do we go from here? We still have that 3rd assignment we could look into, unless you have anything that's more pressing.
She says, I do actually, now that you bring that up. I was hoping you'd help me with some identification.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
If we can.
Please. She takes out from her leather jacket, her right pocket, and she has a very, very small envelope. And in it, she opens it up, and there appears to be a series of pictures in it. And the first one isn't a picture, it's actually a sketch. She says, this is a sketch of an individual that was seen leaving the scene of the brothel known as Yearning. And all of you look at the picture, and it seems to be a vague representation of Basilisk. Definitely has the bald head and the scar along the eye, although in this picture his chin is way too narrow, his nose is completely off, his eyes are a little bit bigger, and his ears are a little bit smaller. But it's, I would say, maybe a 40% resemblance to Basilisk. And she says, I was wondering, I understand that you had a very brief identification time with this gentleman when you went to Yearning looking for your lost, it was a sister, right?
Yes, my sister.
Your sister that you're looking for. Was this a gentleman that you were supposed to meet? This person right here? We have witnesses who've kind of sketched this out. Well, our experts sketched it out. I was hoping maybe you could confirm.
Al will take it and study it for a long time. And then he'll say, well, it's definitely a Psy Stalker. Maybe that knows? I mean, it did. Al kind of, like he's trying to think, like he's trying to recall. He'll like look upwards and he'll go, did he have like a pointy nose? I guess he could have. Yeah. Nothing that really screamed out to me.
Victoria's looking at you very intently.
Al would shrug and he would say, there's certainly a resemblance. I'm no artist, but sure, that could very well be him.
I see, she says. May I show you a few more pictures? Any assistance would be very, very worthwhile.
Of course.
Good. And she lays out 7 pictures in front of you. Most of them are strangers, with the exception of one. You might or you might not recall, this was a few sessions ago. When you gain the assistance of the black market initially after making that deal to sell that Glitter Boy power armor, they put you in a safe house in Ishpeming, right? Nice little white, quaint house with a picture of with the tree on it and everything like that. And when you went there to greet, you were met by two individuals, a DB orc and a female juicer. You recognize both of them in these pictures. The other 5 pictures are people that you have not even met before. She lays down the 8th and 9th photo. And Al, it's a picture.
One's your sister. Sorry.
Wait, thanks a lot, Spiral. It's a picture of, it seems to be a shot through a window. And it's a picture of your sister. Off to one corner, there is some sort of, she seems to be talking or yelling to someone. And the picture isn't clear, but he appears to be bald. Anyone else here that you recognize? She asks, her eyes looking intently to each of you.
All right. Do you mind if I back out of character for a second?
Yeah, I don't care.
All right. So there's more and more danger the more and more we lie to these people. Of course, there's more and more danger the more and more we tell the truth. We're really in a rock and a hard place here, aren't we?
Law decisions, law consequences, law.
So
Like,
here's the thing.
You almost have to throw Basilisk under the bus.
No, well, here's what I was thinking. Because if we're going to have a working relationship with the Northern Gun, and we end up rescuing Jalea in any way, shape, or form, the chances of them finding out that we're with her is pretty good, especially given how much information they were able to get on us when we weren't trying to work with them. Possibly we could say, oh, hey, that's my sister. Well, she's not an elf. Well, I'm sorry. Does all family have to be kin? Or all family have to be blood related? You know, we can go that direction and say, oh my God, where did you find this? How, you know, that kind of thing. And then we could even use that to help Basilisk under the idea of, we let them know Basilisk was with her, trying to help her. He was with the black market to help her. You know what I mean? Like, not tell them that now, but in the end, that's what we found out, kind of thing. Like, don't get him. He's not a bad guy. He was just trying to protect someone important to me. But we didn't know this.
Honestly, I have no fucking idea.
Sorry, go ahead, Tom.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I know.
The lie about, well, family's not all necessarily blood. Sure, fine. But if they know who her father is, where does that go?
Yeah.
That gets weird.
True,
and
but
these guys are essentially the CIA. They can get whatever information they want.
Yes. No, I agree. I'm not saying this is a perfect plan, but again, so consider the pros and cons. We say, nope, don't know who any of these people are. Then at some point they find out, let's say everything goes perfectly. We rescue Jalea. Yay. Hey, why are they with this girl that they don't know? You see what I'm saying?
Oh, no, you definitely have to say something to her. I mean, for all you know, they're planning a freaking hit on her. Like, you have no idea what they think about that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
like, you almost have to. You've got to say something to say she's not a target. I think.
Yeah. I'm still kind of leaning towards the she's the sister I'm looking for.
Sure.
Why don't we take a step back and look at the overall picture? What is our goal?
Overall, our goal is to
have fun.
Get paid.
Get Jalea the F out of there and GTFO, basically. Okay. And to maintain good relations with the Northern Gun.
And to take
down Hellrider Corps.
Okay.
Well, take down the Hellrider Corps.
I think the Hellrider Corps is... Okay.
Okay. And...
I was going to say it means to the end, but he has a point.
I do believe we also don't want to make an enemy of the black market.
True.
Correct?
True.
Okay. With all of these things in mind, how much do we want to tell these people? Because we do want to have a good relationship with them, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm beginning to feel more and more, though, it's going to be incredibly difficult, if impossible, to have a good relation with both of them, given
yeah.
that they are actively at war. I mean, not at
I
war.
wouldn't
you know
say
what I mean.
impossible, but I mean,
It's
Yeah,
going to
it might be
have a
tricky.
lot of finesse. Going to be
Yes.
very,
Yes.
very tricky.
I think it would take a light touch and something that will need, let's just say a well, a silver tongue. Let's just say.
Yeah.
I think the best way to actually approach this is to basically make sure that all the focus is on the girl, and for you to not specifically say that this is your sister, but you know her, and she would never be a part of the particular black market, and this is a priority. Like this is something that you want to focus on specifically. Like you want to
She-
basically like distract and say that this is a good person, and that there's no way that like
Wait.
how did you take this picture?
She
Where is she?
is
and so on and so
another essential
Wait.
basilisk.
Guys, wait,
if
wait,
we
wait.
could get to let me finish.
Yeah, sorry.
Please. Let me finish.
Children, be
Fuck.
nice. All right, finish.
We could say that she is another step, that because we have found her and she is here, we can go, okay, we might not know specifically where my sister is, but she fucking knows. We need to get to her.
Possible. That's nice. There's another way we could play this too. They know that Al was attached to your group, but they don't know that I am Al.
Yeah.
Lavin may have been able to get it, and Loss Prevention may have theories, but they don't know because we signed an agreement that Lavin's not telling them. We could maybe kill two birds with one stone, make the importance on her, and put a level of separation between the elf and the owl. Say, yeah, that's Jordan Castle's sister. What the hell is she doing here? You see what I'm saying?
How do you know Jordan Castle?
He was part of our group.
Which they already have a suspect.
Right.
But we
Actually,
were
yeah.
looking. But we've said that we've been looking for your sister.
So we act incredibly surprised, like, what the hell is she doing here? That's not my sister. That's not who I'm looking for. I'm an elf. And we kind of play on the whole absurdity of, I'm an elf. How could she be my sister?
Except
see
that
what I'm saying?
increases.
Yeah.
That's one more thing that makes you similar to Al.
Well,
That is true.
Like
but
now you both have a
that-
fucking sister in Ishpeming. What?
Yeah, I gotta agree.
But
I think that's enough steps of separation, to be honest. Like there's no concrete things that are
Yeah.
pointing them,
like,
especially since he's an elf.
like it's
And
true. We can
she's
rely
human.
on, as I said, the absurdity of the scenario that humans don't just turn into elves.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like it's absurd, but I'm just saying, like, what a
have
quinkydink
plenty.
that we've specifically looked for this elf sister. And oh, wait a minute, it's the guy that people like.
we are.
Yeah,
This is
True.
yeah.
But well, so then the question would be: is that still is that a better option than saying? Because we have to come up with.
I kind of
Yeah.
like Tom's idea myself.
So we
Say
need
she
to get
knows
to
where
her
your
because
sister
she
is.
knows where my sister is. Okay.
Because it's actually true. She does know where your sister is.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
That is the truth.
It's not a lie.
Yeah, and we never told him my sister's name, so we could say that's
You've been
name's-
very vague about your sister.
Yeah.
They said, we can help you find her, and you'll be like, okay, well, we'll see how that goes first, right? Because they were trying to establish trust.
okay. Yeah. No, I do like that idea now that I think about it. Okay, so let's try the deft touch with this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here goes.
Pictures.
Al would say, her. I know her. Where is she?
She quirks a brow and she says, I'm not at liberty to say specifically for the sake of security and our own espionage. Once again,
No, you don't understand. She was with my sister. She would know where my sister is.
well, this picture I can say, we monitor, she pauses. The black market is known, suspected to having a variety, dozens and dozens of safe houses throughout Ishpeming. We have managed to locate 3, and we constantly monitor them. This was taken last night. They have since moved. No one is at this location anymore. They do this often. Now, perhaps you should elaborate on who she is and how she knows your sister.
Right.
These are all people who have been associated with the black market one way or another. She could have just been someone who was renting out the place. They're known to do that too. They're extremely cunning, which is why they've been able to fester in our city for so long. So she's not a member of the black market, but she knows where your sister is.
I mean, as far as her being a member of the black market, I can't. All right, let me start from the beginning.
Please.
My sister traveled with a group of friends. I don't know them very well, but I know enough of them that I was trying to find them to find her. This character, and he points to the drawing of Basilisk, that's one of them that traveled with her. And this girl, her name is Julia. She was a good friend of my sister's. I don't know much about her, but from everything my sister told me, she wouldn't work with the black market. She was a very kind person.
She pauses and she says, now, assuming you're telling the truth, and I'd like to assume correctly since we're working together and you understand the consequences of any sort of betrayal, Lionel is very blunt in regards to that, then it is possible that she is being used. Perhaps this basilisk fellow, she gestures over to the photo, has betrayed her in some way. Or, I don't know, maybe they're running some sort of other plan. Regardless, this person was found in all I can say is a suspected black market hiding facility, and we now currently do not have her location. However, she says, our interests do coincide. I was told to use my own discretion in assessing this, and I can say with the information that you had, this breaking of the code itself is stellar. In addition to following up on that Zenthia citizen, I can say that trust now has been established. I will communicate all this to Lionel as well. So, let us solidify the relationship some. Let us work together continuously to stop the Hell Riders. And in doing so, we will also continue to investigate, as we always have, with the black market. If any more information on this basilisk fellow or this Jalea woman comes up, we'll be sure to follow it. And hopefully that will lead to your missing kin, which in turn, which I imagine will make you very happy. And us feeling that we have extended a service for you assisting in the Hell Riders.
Al looks genuinely relieved.
Good. Although I have one final follow-up question, she says. I'm perplexed. I have this nagging feeling. Yesterday morning, when I met with you at the South Security Gate, you were very miffed, very disgusted with the Northern Gun and how they approached your mercantile operation the last time you were here. About 6 hours later, Lavin contacts me saying you want to talk. You mentioned you heard that the Hell Riders were this awful group that you want to assist with, but she says, I guess I'm too much of a cynic. I have a feeling there's another reason, another motivation behind this. I'm asking you before we continue on. Why do you want the Hell Riders so badly?
Patrick's hisses out, I am never happy with such a group in any place. If anything, I would have done this without you.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not gonna say anything. Just speaking to the GM, being like, "You're not lying. You're
Al,
not lying at all."
Al would nod and lean forward and very, very genuinely, with emotion as well, say, I am a doctor, and I go through this world, traveling around, seeing the horrors that men do to each other. I see the problems that happen by simple mistrust and manipulation. Yes, I was angry by what the Northern Gun did, and I was willing to work with you by your actions, and that should speak a lot to my character. Too few people in this world are just honest and open, and far too people in this world, far too few people in this world care about each other. I saw these people gun down innocents to get their way. I saw them murder people without a second thought. When they attacked my friends, I doubt very seriously they gave one damn about any innocents that might have been caught in the way. So yeah, I want to take them down. And maybe that makes us unusual. But quite frankly, I don't care.
Okay. If no one else wants to pop up, I'll definitely have a react to that, to both those. That groovy?
I mean, it also really doesn't help that they think that we're a part of the black market, which we're not, and we really don't want to be. I
She
mean, we're
leans
trying
back
to-
a little bit,
Sorry, go
and
ahead.
she says, probably due to your previous dealings with the black market.
Mhm.
All right. Survival and a righteous cause, and she looks over to Lavin, and a paycheck. All right. Thank you for quieting that niggling voice in my head. Well, she says, I will bring all this to Lionel. We will be in contact again very soon in regards to the next step forward. With that,
Okay.
she'll get up. She'll leave discreetly. Would you guys also leave as well? Head over to
Yeah, I think we'd get Ellie out of here as quickly as possible.
Well, speaking of Ellie, go ahead.
I'm going to make sure to take these nachos to go then.
Okay, you could have been nibbling. Oh, sorry, nachos did arrive, by the way.
Yeah.
You could be nibbling on them in the meantime. But here's the funny thing: this pub does not have doggy pegs. You either eat it or you leave it there, Bucko.
Damn.
He will sadly leave it there.
Okay.
But
Lavin has been helping anytime he thought Tom wasn't looking.
oh no,
Yeah, besides that,
you can go ahead.
we're not
Consider
leaving
it.
it here. We're going to finish this thing.
Oh,
Roll
well,
for initiative.
God.
Fine,
Nachos
guys.
trying to dodge. They fail because they're nachos.
I rolled a 1.
Dude.
My hand
You missed
crashes
your
on the table and breaks.
There will probably be a point halfway through the nachos where Tom's like, "Okay, I've had enough. This is just too much sweets."
Gotcha. So as you're leaving the minor worker tavern, you pass by that same first booth, and the guy on that who had been mocking Ellie so openly has I should probably describe him. He has short brown hair, like a 5 o'clock shadow, average build, probably big hands and whatnot, worker boots. Now he's smoking a cigar, and as you go up to leave, he conveniently stands up right when Allie's about to pass by and goes, sorry there. And he takes a deep drag of his cigar. He goes, how's the operation there, doctor? And he blows smoke right in your face.
Lavin would
Buddy?
take his cigar.
Buddy, I would greatly appreciate it if you didn't blow smoke in my friend's face.
Patrick is going to lay a hand on your shoulder, Tom. Patrick is going to cast a spell.
Hold on, and did Lavin take his cigar?
Oh yeah, I take his cigar.
Okay, so you quickly pluck it from his hands, and what spell are you casting, Patrick?
Patrick is going to say, "Look like you need to open up your airways," and then pokes him after the spell, giving him sense magic with a big nose.
You have say versus magic.
Oh my
You
god!
can't just give it to him if he doesn't want it.
He wants it.
Nope, he doesn't.
Holy crap!
Oh,
That's a crit no.
damn.
Right.
No. So we're gonna say you. Okay, let me.
Okay, now I
let me
look
have him
stupid
react
poking
in time
him
with all
in the
this.
chest.
Okay, yeah, no, you poke him still, and you actually have to do the incantation. So you like say the words and the gestures and everything like that. So, but luckily the guy isn't looking at you at the time. He's looking towards Lavin, who stole a cigar, and he has a scowl. And you're a good couple inches taller. Actually, you're a good like 6 inches taller than him, Lavin, because you're a pretty tall guy. And so he kind of looks up at you, and he says, "Excuse me, that's mine, buddy." And then he's like poked in the chest. He goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then all of his friends kind of get up, but they're not like all like tough and ready to, punch face. They look like really nervous, and they're like, "Steve, we should, just Steve." And he kind of like waves at them, and he goes, "Listen, bud, just give me my cigar and get the hell out of here, okay?"
I blow smoke in his face.
Nice.
Oh boy!
Now, this is interesting. He coughs a little bit and he scowls. And he looks to his friends who look very nervous. And he looks to all of you, and he's clearly outnumbered. And he, okay, this is going to be a little crude, but it's in character. And he's going to look to Elle and he says, "What do? Blow all of them so they protect you?" With a scowl. And then he slinks back into his booth without his cigar and kind of just gives a sneer.
Like, like blowing bubbles or something. Ellie looks over at like Patrick.
Tom is shaking his head furiously. "Let's just get out of here, please. Let's just go."
And right now this Steve guy is like looking warily over at Lavin.
Does he have a drink or anything? What's he doing there? What's he good
Yeah,
drink?
he has a drink. He has a drink of looks like a gin and tonic in front of him.
All right.
So the other friends are drinking beer. There's a pitcher of beer in between the table too.
I take a last drag on his cigar and I put it in his drink and start walking away.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Great. He doesn't stop you. He gives another scowl, and but he doesn't make any sort of move. And to answer the last thing he does, when Ellie asks like, "What do you mean by blow?" You know that like crude gesture someone like puts like in front of their face and with their tongue, they like poke their cheek from the inside to imply fellatio.
Yeah.
He does that, and he goes, "This, honey," and then that's it. He kind of just doesn't make eye contact anymore, and he's looking at his drink. He's pulling out his cigar, but
Ellie starts making that motion confused.
Ellie gets free drinks for the.
This is why I wanted to go, to not
Totally a
destroy her
character.
innocence.
Totally a character. But interestingly enough, like this, because they've been intimidated so much, they're not even gonna, even though it's very funny and they could mock her, they've seen the consequences of that, and so they're all kind of just gonna, like, kind of just give a look at each other, like, "Oh shit," and kind of look at the table as Ellie attempts to mimic what the man did.
Ellie looks at the group. I don't understand. Is he being mean? Misguided, yes, because clearly I'm not digging all this smoke in my face, but I'm not really.
He's must be misguided, Al says, like directing everyone towards the door.
All right. Bye, misguided youth.
He's probably older than you are. Not mentally, but physically. Yeah, you're able to leave the tavern without further incident. Filled with nachos and justice. Now, is there? I can speed things along a little bit for you if you like. Bio break. We're gonna take a quick bathroom break for Spiral here. But we'll get his input as well. But because I can speed ahead to, you guys go back to your hotel room, maybe have a few interactions, whatever, right? But since, Victoria Sandler did say, like, we'll contact you next, I was going to have the next scene be, spoiler alert, them contacting you next and letting you know what the next steps are.
Sure.
The options are, at the very least.
Sure, I'm all for it.
Okay. But we'll wait for Lavin to get back so he can get his input on the whole idea.
Yeah. Wow.
Sorry. It's the Pepsi bottle. I blew on you good, Jug.
Unlike other brands that make you go to the restroom when you drink them, Coke actually holds in the pee until
Coke
there's
actually
matter
recycles the pee into your bloodstream.
Someone's watching going, that can't be healthy.
Coke saved my cat.
What? How?
Just trying to get a sponsorship by Coca-Cola.
Coke for
Okay.
president.
1, I've drank like a liter of Coke. Give me a break. 2, I can hear everything you say from the bathroom because you're on my speakers.
Oh, we could have made you nervous.
We could have made you.
No, there was no way there was nothing was stopping that. It was happening. That's why I ran away. I'm like standing here like pacing with my headphones on like, oh, I need a break.
My mental state has no effect.
If you ever need a bio break, just let us know. It's no big deal.
Yeah,
I appreciate you.
Just say like BRB or something. It is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
So
Contact us. That's cool.
great.
I'm
Okay,
down.
so I'm gonna. Yeah, sure. I'll speed ahead then into the next scene. You're contacted again via the radio, although at a very inconvenient time.
In the bathroom?
Almost when you're sleeping. Now, who would have the radio? Who would have the radio in their hotel room, for lack of a better word? You can have multiple radios plugged into that frequency. That's
Al
no
would
big deal.
definitely do it.
Does
Yeah.
Ellie have to stay in her hotel room while everyone else sleeps?
No, she doesn't have to.
Hey.
I would want to stay in contact with my paycheck.
Okay, all right. So Allie, okay, burn. Patrick, would you?
Probably not.
Okay, so maybe not Patrick. All right, no big deal. So Ellie, got some good news for you, I guess. Ishpeming, a major city, is not a really city that sleeps all that much. Even at 3:30 in the morning or whatever, there's always kind of something going on, whether it be a club or a late night show or whatever it might be. So you're free to explore the city or at least get out of the hotel room without any
I'll go.
any problems. Okay. Impromptu side adventure or we can just kind of narratively address it, right? Like imagine, you're in a big city, Ellie or Lavin or whomever else, and it's late at night. Like what activities would interest you? Or what would your characters do?
Ellie would roam around and probably try climbing like things.
Okay. I forgot you're a little monkey.
Looking for cats.
Mao.
Oh no.
Mittens. Blink.
Not again. Like no.
Blink is caught in a tree.
Spoiler
Full
warning.
circle. Okay, all right. I'm just trying to think of something in the urban landscape that you would be able to climb without much of a problem.
Buildings.
I would imagine Lavin
will,
would
yeah.
probably just grab like a small, like a Mickey or something and follow Ellie around rather than sleeping.
Ellie would be like
Okay.
telling you a bunch of stories while she's like climbing things and like
Okay.
falling.
Yeah, there's like fire escapes. There are communications poles, obviously, radio towers, apartment buildings.
At one point, she'd be like, "Wait, watch this." She does a backflip.
Delightful.
I don't need to climb because I have a jetpack, so I would just.
Just kind of
Just like babysitting Ellie.
Well, it actually would be really handy. Actually, you know, I'm going to say, while you're climbing, I would like you to do a climbing check for me, please. And we'll say it's an apartment building that you're building. So I would like your building that you're climbing. So I'd like you to make it harder by 30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was she just Spider-Man climbing the wall of an apartment building here?
Kind of. Uh-oh.
No, I'm good. I'm 98% on climbing,
Oh,
bitches.
God damn it. Forgot how good you were. So yeah, well, she's kind of like finding handholds. She's not exactly Spider-Man yet, although ironically, they do have a substance that could help with that. It's like a blue goo in the jar, but that's either here nor there. Yeah, no, she's able to climb like a 4-story building by using handholds and pitted parts in the brick, and fire escapes from time to time. And it's actually quite remarkable, Lavin, seeing someone unhindered without gear climbing up the side of a bloody building.
I feel like at
She's
one
probably-
point,
Mhm.
at one point, Ellie would just be like, so when are you gonna like have a breakdown because I'm too annoying? Because usually people start having that right about now, as she's like dangerously like dangling from a building, staring at you.
See, that's funny because I was about to say she's probably just chatting away the entire time. Too.
Yeah.
That would really depend on when the next time you pour syrup on my chicken is.
Probably the next time we eat.
And
She's a very serious face.
Okay, no more eating in places with syrup then.
She shrugs.
Nice. Shall I quickly move over from this little side climbing adventure to the folks who are sleeping?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So it's 3:30 in the morning. Patrick, you're not awoken to this, but Al and Tom are chirping on the radio. Chirp, 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 chirp.
Tom will grab the watch which he has keyed into this radio signal and turn on
Nice.
the radio.
Nice. All right. Al?
Same thing, but it's more like he slams his hound sleepily down on the watch and drags it over to him.
Okay. So the chirping ends after a few seconds, and after you turn on the radio, turn on the frequency, same automated voice. 8 a.m. The Fuzzy Tulip, located in the Mall of Michigan. And then it goes silent.
Okay, click off. Put it back on the bedside table. Roll over.
Al actually sighs, sits up, and goes to find a map of the Mall of Michigan
Okay.
and to just plan escape routes.
Hey. Inferno. Question. What are the odds that as Al's like waking up, he looks out the window and he sees Ellie there?
You know what? Who cares about odds?
Sure.
I say it happens.
Yeah.
Ellie just waves at Al.
Make the odds. So you're
Al-
climbing your own building.
Yeah.
You might even
It's
see
way too
Lavin
far.
hovering near.
Al, so like you're a few feet away from outside the window, or like waving outside the window.
She's just right outside the window. She's climbing the building.
Al would like blink.
I think we're on like the 30th floor or something like that.
No, I said the 4th floor.
Or 4th floor. Okay, that's better. I was gonna be like, Jesus Christ, this is dangerous.
That's insane.
Al
I'd be
blinks.
hovering there.
Yeah. Al blinks for a second, then opens up the window and says,
Good morning.
What you doing?
Me and Lavin are best friends now. Isn't that right, Lavin? Yep,
Depends
that's
on
right.
the syrup.
And not
Right.
about the syrup again. You always bring that up.
Al like looks down, looks back up, and he says, "All right, well, have fun. Remember, there's a paramilitary group trying to kill us."
Well,
Ellie
actually,
shrugs.
I don't think they're trying to kill me yet. I think they're trying to kill you guys, but it's okay. I'm here for you.
I'm just saying, don't go too far or anything, but have fun.
Okay.
We don't have to
Whenever you-
worry. She's the master of disguises.
Yeah, he also.
Al like
what?
looks at Lavin. What?
That's kind of weird. I would say master of climbing, but I guess disguising works as well.
Master of disguises and climbing.
What do
I
you
think-
mean, master
think
of
sleep-
disguises?
I think sleep deprivation might be getting to him.
It has been a pretty active day, Lavin. But, you're maybe
Right.
a little fatigued, but it's no big deal.
Well, I'm gonna be up for a little bit. We just got a call to meet our contacts tomorrow morning. I'm gonna go find out where it is and plan some sort of escape route in case we need it.
That sounds boring.
Oh,
You
in the
should come climbing.
morning?
At
Oh,
8
what-
a.m.
What time is it?
3:30.
So, yeah. Have fun. And then Al just kind of yawns and closes the window.
I'll race you.
I'm going to sleep.
What, like right there while you're hovering?
Oh, no. Go back to my room.
Oddly enough, as Elle opens her mouth to ask the same question, God speaks for her.
I do that sometimes.
It's okay. Sorry, I had something in my throat.
You know what? I had to make up for fucking Lavin spoiling my little tiny surprise about the sister. Although I telegraphed it pretty clearly.
Surely I'm not the only person who picked up on it.
Well,
I thought about it, but I knew better than to say anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I knew exactly what was
Okay,
going to happen.
got-
Okay,
train
I'll
you
keep
better.
my mouth shut next time. I'm
No,
sorry.
I
I'm
don't.
sorry.
I actually don't care. I actually don't care at all. Anywho, so we'll say Lavin goes to bed. Ellie keeps climbing for a while till she gets bored to try something else. Would you like me to kind of move things along towards the next meeting spot so you guys can get properly debriefed?
Sure. Do I need to
Yes.
make an intelligence check, or are we still running off the first one? Or
It's a new location. It's been a while. You should probably make a new
Sure.
intelligence check.
penalty for sleep? Well, no, I wouldn't say sleepiness. I think Al's not narcoleptic. Any
Unlike some
penalties
people.
that you would like to throw in there? Or
No. No. Actually, yes.
Oh.
Well, there's a
No,
nine.
no,
You rolled
yes.
a
I
nine.
rolled
No.
a 99.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
well, you
wow.
failed. Even if you had 98, you failed. Okay. Well, you know what it is? You'll be like, I don't have August's map in front of me in this.
Oh, that's
so-
perfect. Yeah. And he doesn't want to wake August up, or maybe he can't. Or
Well, he can't. August is shut down. He's a robot.
I can
Um,
imagine Al going up to August's room, him just holding
no.
his forehead next to the door and knocking, and nothing
Well, you're not
happening.
in the same hotel.
yeah, that's what. So here's what would happen.
Oh,
Al would
right,
realize he
yeah.
doesn't have a map. He'd realize August is in a whole other hotel, and he'd go back to bed.
Yeah.
There you go.
Can
Perfect.
I'll
Can-
wing it.
Can Ellie, after she gets bored of climbing, just go and sit creepily in Patrick's room?
Patrick, would you have locked the door? Patrick is muted.
I
If he did, then she'll just be like clawing underneath the door, like Patrick.
like a cat.
Yeah.
Either way, she's getting in that room. So it's up to you, Patrick, whether the door would be locked or unlocked.
He's not up for shenanigans. It's probably locked.
It's just so she'll
Well,
just
I
be
got bad
clawing,
news.
just be clawing underneath the door, like Patrick.
Like, what do you mean by clawing underneath? Like you're putting your fingers
Yeah, like
underneath
she's
it?
trying to like put her fingers underneath the door, so you can see like little fingers like poking out from underneath.
Oh my god! So does that mean like when Al like decides to go back to bed because he can't find any maps, he passes Ellie in the hall in front of Patrick's room?
Well, I don't understand why you'd be in the hall because you have your own room, right?
Oh, that's right. I don't know.
Remember,
I was
you
thinking
guys
it was
aren't
more like a
bunking
house.
in, like-
Okay, yeah, good. Then Al
Ten
doesn't
of
have to
you
deal
aren't
with
in
this.
one room.
That's perfect. Al doesn't have to deal with this. He's going to sleep.
All right.
Yeah, it's
So,
up to you. You can try to sleep through it. I mean, you probably if you're deep asleep and you haven't been woken
Patrick
up
is
by
actually a pretty heavy sleeper, so
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
do a Criana and see what's your usual roll, Criana.
I think I've been rolling either a D20 or D100. It's like 50 or above or 50 or below kind of thing.
Okay.
All right.
I'm doing 50-50.
I'm gonna say low is he stays asleep, high he wakes up.
Is woken by the beckoning words of everyone's favorite crazy.
Oh, you woke him.
Critically so.
Yeah,
Great awakening.
his eyes like bug out.
Basically, just like very similar to a cartoon, you hear a crash when his eyes open.
All right.
He
You
then
see
like
fingers
hears-
underneath the door and a Milo and a Ellie voice on the other side.
he like throws off the sheets,
Yeah.
jumps up. He's not asleep anymore. It's- He
Small.
then-
Okay, go ahead. No, go.
he unlocks the door. You'll hear all of this,
Great.
and he'll open it.
You'll see like Ellie like hunched down like with her hand like kind of like pulling it away from the door, and she'll look up at him and say smile and smile, not say smile.
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 No, she smiles. I came to watch you to make sure you didn't get any night terrors. Just go right back to bed. She walks right in and she sits down.
It's like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Still staring at the spot where Mila was, Patrick will slowly close the door, get back into bed, and stare at the ceiling for a while.
You might hear her like scooch a chair over, and she's like right at your bedside, staring and smiling.
That's not creepy at all.
I'm unsure if Patrick will be able to go back to sleep. It's-
Considering you're supposed to meet somewhere at 8 o'clock in the morning, and would Patrick wake up maybe a couple hours to get prepared beforehand?
I don't think
If
Patrick
so-
knows yet.
no,
Oh, you're right.
he
He
doesn't.
wouldn't know. No, so
I can
You
be
just
his
get-
personal alarm clock.
if he goes back to sleep, I'll leave it up to you. It's your character, obviously.
I still want to roll with this 20, so let's just say he stays awake for another hour. Let's say this was around 4. He got
Sure.
another 3 hours of sleep afterwards.
Well, I actually already established it was 5 o'clock, so an extra 2 hours of sleep.
2.
Well, it wouldn't be
Ish.
that though, because we have to be there at 8. So
Yeah.
Al would be waking people up. How far away is Lamalla, Michigan, from where we are?
Not too far away, about 20-minute commute.
Then Al would be waking everyone up at like 7.
So I get 1 hour. I get 1 hour awake, 1 hour sleep, and then back up again.
You don't even get a full sleep cycle. That's okay. Well, not really, but whatever. Don't look at me.
That's an interesting question. Was there enough sleep, at least for me, to get any PPE back?
The standard rate. Do you need a refresher?
No, I'll find it in the background.
Okay.
It's
Keep going.
per
So-
hour, and I think it's like 8 or something like that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I'll look it up and confirm in the
Yeah,
background as we do this.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. All right. So you guys get up, get things ready. Is there anything you guys want to talk about before going to this meeting? If not, it's no big deal. You need some water, like in the game or in real life?
In character.
I'm like, you can go get some water with it. You don't have to tell me.
I need some aspirin. Ow.
Did you have a good night's rest, Lavin?
No.
I should have watched you to make sure you didn't get any night terrors. By the way, she is like using that shouting voice.
The only terror right now is in my cranium.
Uh,
Aspirin.
Ask Al. I think he has.
Yep.
Aspirin.
Do they not have aspirin in Riss?
They have a similar.
Mila's
they have the
also.
no-name knockoff kind.
I was gonna
They
say.
have acetaminophen
Acetaminophen. Acetaminophen.
and ibuprofen.
aspirin.
Al would consider maybe, and then give him some.
There you go.
So we have to be somewhere at 8? Like now, basically?
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
going, I think.
and
Patrick,
it's-
are we going? She looks over at Patrick using the same shouting voice.
Patrick's still in his groggy morning phase. Kind of goes, yeah, probably. Where are we going?
I should have told you while you were sleeping. We're going to some. Al, where are we going?
The Mall of Michigan. We're gonna
going
meet
to the
them
mall.
there.
We're gonna go.
Okay, meet
Fuzzy
who
Tulip.
there?
Oh, and by the way, it's 5 PPE per hour, 10 ISP. Oh no, I'm sorry, 5 PPE and ISP per hour. So I guess it depends on how many hours you got to sleep, Patrick. If you've spent any.
I got enough.
Inferno, if Al was only
Yeah.
up for basically 10, 15 minutes, could he have gotten 8 hours of sleep?
Yeah.
Or okay,
Yeah.
then I'll adjust accordingly.
Great. Because you would have gotten like 8.5 hours, so there you go. All right.
Mhm.
It's no big deal. I'm not gonna penalize you for role playing. Not for that small period of time anyway. Tom, I'm assuming you also get up.
Yeah, he's gonna be groggy as hell, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, he gets up. He puts
Alright.
clothes on. He meets the people. His hair's unkempt, but he's ready to go.
Gotcha. Well, Alicia's gonna keep an eye on things over here, but Blink wants to go with you guys because she's never been to the Mall of Michigan before.
Sure, let's go.
So, and actually, if it's okay by you, Bear will also want to go because Bear.
Sure.
There.
Bear.
There.
Oh, Bear. Anyway, okay, I'll set you guys up for the next scene. All right. So, it's 8:00 in the morning. So you've been to the Mall of Michigan a few times, but mostly it's been midday, and it's been teeming with patrons, with folks coming to and fro. And it isn't completely dead, but the traffic is relatively light. There are individuals, doing some exercises, some jogging around the Mall of Michigan. But most of the time, most stores are actually just opening up at this time. The Fuzzy Tulip is located far on the eastern side of the Mall of Michigan. You have to go about halfway down in its expansive this expansive series of buildings before you get there. I hear someone eagerly saying something. No?
No.
I'm hearing things. Oh, okay. Sorry.
You're doing good. Go on.
No. I thought I heard someone going like, oh. Anyway, and the Fuzzy Tulip is actually a makeup studio. But the individual that you're waiting isn't actually inside the studio, since it is also just beginning to open shop. But it is another woman sitting in front. She's wearing casual clothes, but she is wearing a leather jacket. But this time she's wearing like a blue blouse and black slacks, and then like these big thick boots. She looks to be of Hispanic origin, very like dark olive skin, black hair, big wide brown eyes, very, very small petite nose, and very, very thin lips. She looks over to you with a distinct light voice, and she says, "We meet again. Please, let's walk and talk."
Is she about the same height as Victoria Sandler?
She's the exact height as Victoria Sandler.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
as she walks and talks, she says, I spoke with the lion, and what I mentioned last night, he has repeated. You have succeeded in this test of trust, and we believe that you will become extremely important assets for future operations against the Hell Riders. In addition, your associate, Miss Zoe Wedgwood, has also provided a negotiation. You will receive a small stipend for all future operations, which will be deposited directly into accounts that she has set up for you. In addition, you have been provided an additional clearance level when it comes to our unique supply chain, and she will subtly hand over a baby blue stick towards you. It's shaped like a cred stick, but it's very similar to the crimson one that you received.
Is this
when you
for
went
a new
over to-
washing machine?
She says, yeah. She says, and this one gets things cleaner, even better than the last.
I like clean.
She gives a bit of a
Interesting.
smirk. Everyone does. There are a few operations that you can assist with, and we will allow your own prerogative to follow up with which you find your skills will be the most suitable for. The first would be running a support assistance in an operation. One of our agents has made contact with an individual which we believe actually is the prime contact when it comes to smuggling items in and out of Ishpeming. They have set up a phony deal in which to meet with this individual and broker a deal in order to allow them in and out of the city without, bypassing our security. This is an extremely tense situation, and we require backup. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, would be to rendezvous with our agent, assess surveillance positions, and provide assistance in case things turn violent. Are there any specific questions about this mission?
Just to clarify, basically, we just establish. Do we even establish contact? Or we just know a position, take a watch, and make sure nothing goes sour.
I will provide you with a meeting time to meet our agent, as well as a description. They will debrief you on the specifics of their meetup. It is a very, she pauses, fluid situation, and the supposed smuggler is extremely sketchy and nervous. They're known to change things at the last minute. Therefore, all the intel is based on our agent, and I'm not able to give you any specifics just as of yet. This meeting will be happening in 3 hours.
So basically, we meet with him and then just follow his lead.
Correct.
3 hours. Oh my god.
She says, in our line of work, things have to be assessed and acted on very quickly. Speaking of, she says, we have actually identified that training camp. We have gathered the intelligence, done some additional surveillance, and have located the training facility in which the Hell Riders use outside of Ishpeming, one of the minor ones. If you are still interested, I believe your skills are acceptable for this task, I suggest either infiltration into the training facility and assessing as much information as you can to connect further leads into the Hell Rider leadership, or destroy the facility and weaken the Hell Riders slightly. That is your second operation. If you choose to accept that, I will give you the coordinates of the campsite as well as detailed intelligence as to possible infiltration methods and areas in which selective neutralization would be most effective.
All right, so out of character, if I understand correctly, helping an agent meet a smuggler that could give valuable information on how they're getting the goods, or take out the small training facility.
There's
or
a third one.
Yeah, I was waiting for the third one. There's always three. These things come in threes.
Actually, there's 4, motherfucker.
Damn it!
Inferno says that he makes a third one.
No. I had actually, it was funny.
Nice.
This morning, I was making them, and I thought the exact same thing. I'm like, these will be 3 again. And I'm like, when you guys were on Mars, I gave you 3 missions. I'm like, I gotta add in another one just to mix this up.
It is a common thing to give 3 options. So
Sure, it's a very common thing. So yeah. Anyways, so the third one. Sorry, let me check my notes here. She continues. The third mission is a follow-up on the graffiti. We have located a prep area in which our informant has noticed men and women adding on and creating graffiti in one of these hotspots that the now late Mr. Erickson identified as an area of where missing people they get plucked up from. This, she looks over to Lavin. If you thought 3 hours was a short time period, this one's even shorter. We need you to get there within the next hour. You yourself said, soon after the painting comes up, a man with metal arms comes and assesses the situation. We want you there to witness this individual, to track them, to follow them, perhaps even capture and interrogate them. We leave that up to your purview.
cool.
This has significant risk, but we believe that since you're the ones who cracked the code, you should get the first crack at this. Speaking of the code, she says, if the 4th mission is a follow-up of the 3rd, even if you choose not to track and interrogate this individual, we believe that you can quickly assess what the message says. We want you to go to that location and attempt to foil any strike that the Hell Riders might have on it. We are currently interrogating the 4 individuals who attacked you on the streets. Unfortunately, they're not saying much. Even with our, she pauses, chemical persuasion, the knowledge that they have is limited. It is clear that these individuals are working in cellular individual groups, and the information that they're given is on a need-to-know basis. We want to corroborate this assumption. We'd like you to neutralize, or perhaps even capture, more of these Hell Riders to see if we can establish at least a pattern in their leadership. Get some names, or at the very least, confirm whether this Jester Cameron fellow is in a leadership position. Any questions?
No, I think you were pretty clear.
Good. Now, out of character, obviously, the details of each of the missions, specifically, if you're going after the camp or whatever, the intel she would hand over to you or she would explain to you. So before you do any of these next goals, I might, retroactively let you know some details that you need to go there. But at least you guys have, when we're wrapping up this session now, an idea of what you might want to do next, right? In following this whole Hell Rider thread.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Cool.
Yeah. I might actually make an odd, unique suggestion that we've never considered before.
Wow.
Yay! Let's murder all of them.
Leave town.
To me, the two biggest ones right now is the graffiti and the guy with the metal arms trying to capture and interrogate, and trying to foil whatever they're trying to hit, because usually it involves the deaths of innocent people. That's why we're in this in the first place. Well, one of the reasons, right?
Yeah.
However, it would be very difficult to do both at the same time. And I think it's gotten dangerous enough that splitting the party, going like 2 here and 2 there, is dangerous.
Yeah.
I would almost want to suggest we let our NPCs handle one, and we take the other.
I like
Sorry,
cutting
as the
your
GM makes interesting noises.
I want to kill the metal man. Personally, out and in character, this metal man to me is super intriguing, and I totally want to capture him.
Yeah, and honestly, so here, my thought actually too is the metal man's one is going to call for finesse and we don't know what, but that might be something the players would be more apt for. Whereas protection, I mean, Bear, Alicia, Blink,
Yeah. No,
just
you're
those
right.
3 on their own. But yeah, the others too. I mean, they're
To go
really
handle.
good.
You mean for them to handle the smuggler guy, right?
No, I mean for them to go protect whatever the hit is.
Okay,
Discover
yeah.
what the graffiti is when you're there at the site waiting for the metal man. Let them know via radio. They head over there pronto.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And then we could probably deal with the metal man within 2 hours, and then go deal with the smuggler guy.
Yeah, I agree. I honestly think the training
Cool.
base, I mean, she said it herself, even if we take it out, will hurt them a little bit.
Yeah.
But these are
Well, plus-
big things.
There's no time limit on that one.
Yeah, that's true.
The time limit, I mean, basically means we do the things on the time limit first because we're not, stupid.
So, yeah,
We could-
I would... Mhm.
We could also have I'm sorry, I can never remember his name, but the security guy from Parensburg.
McLaughlin.
McLaughlin, there you go. We could have McLaughlin go too because he is a security guy. We would have Blink and McLaughlin, both security people. We have Alicia the badass, and we have Bear, who is fantastic in melee. That sounds like a really good group.
Yeah.
I would have to concur.
Yeah, I agree. So my thought would be the best scenario to do the most help is we handle the metal man. We let the NPCs protect whatever the hit is. We capture the metal man as quickly as possible, have the authorities take him, and then rush over to help the agent. Because we don't have to interrogate the middleman now. We just have to ensure that he is safely.
Well, wait a minute. Do we want to do that? I was thinking we interrogate the middleman ourselves, because even for some reason, and maybe I'm off on this, but do we want to tell them everything that he tells us?
It's possible. My thoughts are simply this: if we capture him quickly and we have plenty of time, yeah, of course, all for it. But if it's a matter of interrogating the middleman or helping the agent with the smuggler,
well, if we
well,
can,
you know what?
if we
it's not
can-
even about what we want to know and might not tell. But here's been a consistent habit of these Northern Gun guys is that they find out shit and don't want to tell us because we're not trustworthy or whatever.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I want to know.
We're in the
It's a need to know basis, right? They just don't feel that you need to know.
yeah,
But
and
the CIA does that shit all the time.
we're also
Oh yeah, it's
in
believable.
the
I'm just, I want to know.
we're also in the
I
very
wanna know.
early stages of this relationship. We're still trying to build up this relationship, and I have a feeling that if we weren't to interrogate him and to let them interrogate him, unless we really want to know some information about all of this, which would be handy, although I have a feeling that they would give us this need-to-know information if we're trying to take these guys down, it would give us a bit more clout with them.
I totally agree. No, don't get me wrong. I want to interrogate this guy. I personally, if it's a matter of interrogating this guy or helping their agent who could be walking into a trap for all we know, I think that one might saving. I'm saying saving. We don't know there's a problem, but she has already said that this meeting's very quick, very very hastily drawn together, and the contact is very skittish. And to Al's mind, that says disaster. It has like disaster written all over it if any one thing goes wrong.
No, I agree with you. I think helping the smuggler is definitely priority. But if we get the opportunity, interrogating the middleman ourselves, I think might be might reveal something interesting.
Well, and if we
How-
capture him quickly enough, we can.
yeah. Okay. Cool.
We can try because
I have truth
it
serum.
also depends on what the card has given us access to, because we might be able to get access to some things that can potentially
I got all sorts
arrest or.
I got all sorts of cool new gadgets for you guys.
Yeah,
Good.
I think would
what
we
do you
have
mean,
time
Tom?
to stop by there?
Let me
and,
finish. Let me
sorry.
finish my
Yeah,
thought.
let him finish.
Let me finish. The blue card could give us a lot of resources, which we will need. Currently, we have no ability of restraining somebody with robotic strength. None.
I have a
We do
tranquilizer
not.
dart.
You have
Well,
a meal.
I have a,
That's not.
I have a
I have a
tranquilizer
magic
rifle.
net.
I have a carpet of adhesion.
I guess.
We got
I
ways, but
guess.
none of those are permanent.
Here's the
None
thing:
of
I
those
have a
are permanent.
tranquilizer rifle and truth serum. I totally want to take this guy down and interrogate him.
That is
I
if
like
he
that
has.
idea.
We've only seen his arms. What if he's an actual Borg?
Actually, you never seen
Well-
anything. The kid saw his arms.
Yeah, the kid saw
Then
his
we,
arms.
we won't have to worry about accidentally killing him because he'll be tough as shit.
I mean, I guess. But the point that I'm trying to make is
It's true. It's a win-win.
if we want to get this gear from the shop really quickly, we have an hour to get to this new place. So we have to go there, we have to get this guy within that hour with all of this new gear and all of that. And then, hopefully it doesn't take an extra 2 hours in order for the cops to show up, us to restrain him for a extended period of time and all of that. Otherwise, we might not be able to go and help this smuggler. So my thought was, just in case, which do we prioritize? The targets on this new graffiti or the smuggler?
Bullet point, just so we can do both of them without really needing to be like, which one do you rather? Why don't we just have a preemptive, like, this is about the time that we're probably going to take him down, have them sort of already be ready to swoop in and collect.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So let me throw a few things as a GM. First of all, although the time frame would be a little tight, it'd be really unfair if I didn't let your characters have time to buy some goodies before doing their first mission. So if you went directly to Suds, not Duds, talked with Mr. Clean, bought your shit. Yes, these are names I made up.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I was laughing with you, not at
Mr.
you.
Clean, buy some stuff and head over to the graffiti spot. You'd be able to do it within an hour. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's true. You're absolutely right. You could tell Victoria, right, who you're assuming is Victoria right now, that she's like, okay, you could just be like, okay, this is what we're going to do. If we manage to capture him, have the IPD or your agents meet us at this location in 2 hours so we can hand him off to you. Boom.
Mhm.
Work for you guys?
Actually, yeah, we could do.
Yep.
And then if we,
We could do
capture him within that 2 hour time limit and have time to interrogate him, kudos. If we run out of time, then we move on to what we feel is more important, which is either still interrogate him because things could change, or move on to the agent.
Yeah, because I do believe
Yes.
that we need to help that agent quite a bit.
I think honestly the first
Also-
priority, like my thoughts are, first priority is protection of the hit, because there'll always be other chances to get the metal armed man or stop smuggling. There'll never be another chance to save people's lives. But
Mhm.
I'm fine. I have enough faith in our badass NPCs to let them take care of that.
Yeah.
The second one would
Steal
be
the smuggled goods, man. Yeah.
the second one would be capturing the metal man and interrogating him ourselves, or at the very least capture him so that he's out of the game. And then the third one would be the agent.
And stealing the smuggled goods.
You totally could.
Yeah.
But they get another smuggled.
So they never got them in. We never really saw the goods, but we stopped the guys.
We
It is
say
true.
decked out in tons of stolen weapons.
It is true, though. I mean, not only are they getting weapons through, they're getting people with the weapons through. And this isn't like some fucking one-horse town. This is goddamn Ishpeming.
Yeah.
This is a big fucking deal. So yeah, that's kind of cool.
I think it'll be tight. I think the capture of this guy will be tough.
It'll be fun though.
But
It'll be a
yeah,
good
it'll
challenge.
definitely be fun. I'm just concerned that we might not be able to capture him in time. That's my only
Oh
concern.
man, it's a
But
good
you'll
thing
find
everyone
out.
got a good night's sleep last night.
Yeah.
Tom
Aspirin.
did.
I didn't. Was babysitting.
Patrick probably would have gotten a good 6 hours.
I was babysitting. You just hear a cheer in the back.
Yeah. We're best friends.
Babysitting and
adorable.
drinking. That's always a good combination.
The best babysitter, Lavin.
I had a few drinks, and the kid I was supposed to watch started climbing the building.
Figured she was okay. I don't know.
I think I saw
just
this in that
hovered
pre-roast
behind
video,
her.
Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh God!
God,
Don't fuck with the babysitter. Am I right?
Wait a second. You're the worst babysitter ever. You left her to go to sleep when she's 4 stories up the side of a building.
We had to meet someone in like 4 hours, man.
He needed his beauty rest.
True.
Good times.
Speaking of which, it's getting late for me.
Yes, we'll wrap
Yes.
things
Yeah.
up here.
Okay.
Good night, everyone.
Oh, okay,
everyone.
okay.
Bye,
Wow, that's
everyone.
quick. All right.
Thank you guys for
Bye,
watching. Don't
everyone.
forget that we will be back next week Sunday with Riffs, and don't forget our other tabletop RPG every Wednesday, 3 Galaxies. We'll see you there. Bye bye.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you guys. I think this is gonna be an exciting session Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
Don't care.
Anyways, bye.